sweet kiss how I live on. Never go along. You take it from Peter today, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Why not pray for a long fellow? He can pray for a long life. As long as they live, you know, the better we grow. Fine, power is fine, oh, it can make you heavy. It's just like a brook, you know, it's way to capsize. Sweet, sweet kiss how I live out. Not for go alone. He might be can eat it, or a picture can eat it. Kiss how I live, kiss how I live, oh, sweet kiss how I live, oh. Not for go alone. You take it from Peter today, oh, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. You take it from me right today, oh, mother will take it from you tomorrow. Fine, fine, go by your fine, may in your favor. Well, people do to you, you got to cry. Hard enough for one person, oh, it's a matter of time. Hard time is a lesson, yeah, brother, this I have. Sweet, sweet kiss how I live out. Not for go alone, mama. Human being can eat it, oh, the deer can eat it. Ah, go how I live out. Sweet is how I live on. Not for go alone. Human beings can eat it, or a creature eat it too. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Why not pray for a long fellow? He can pray for long life. As long as they living, the better we grow. You take it from me right today, oh, Mira will take it from you tomorrow, mama. Hey, you take it from Peter today, oh, Paul will take it from you tomorrow. Fine, fine, power is fine, oh, it can make you heavy. Looking like a crook, you know, a way to capsize. Ah, Kesawalia, Kesawalia, ah, Kesawalia, mama, no for go alone. Why not pray for long fellow? He always pray for long life. As long as they living, the better we grow, my people. Sweet, sweet kiss how I live, oh, no for go alone. That's enough for one person, oh, it's a matter of time, papa. Sometimes it's a lesson, yeah, brother, this I had. I'm about the way. Go along, yeah. Sweet, sweet kiss how I live out. Never go along. You take it from Peter today, oh, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Why not pray for long fellow? He can pray for long life. As long as they live, the better we grow. Fine power if I know. It can make you heavy. It's just like a volcano. It way to capsize. Sweet, sweet kiss our liver. No for go along. He won't be can eat it. Or a picture can eat it. Kiss our liver. Kiss our liver. Oh, sweet kiss our liver. No for go along. You take it from me today, or Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. You take it from me right today, or mother will take it from you tomorrow. Fine, oh, by your fine, may in your favor. Well, people do to you, you will to cry. Has enough for one person, oh, it's a matter of time.
And so, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on your location where you're watching us from this evening. We'd like to welcome you to the Hit Out program here on BKS TV. On the Hit Out, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Yesterday, we weren't here because of some technical issues beyond our control, but thankfully, we are back again today, and we will be here to discuss all of the issues surrounding Liberia too as well. If you're just joining us this evening, we'd like to welcome all of you to the show. Those of you listening to us via radio too, we'd like to say good evening to you and welcome to the show here this evening. On today's edition of the show, we'll be hosting Prince and Sharif. Prince and Sharif is a member of the Coalition for Democratic Change, CDC for short. He's also a teacher and a security personnel. He served as the former Secretary General for CDC USA, and he's the CEO of Honor the Palaba Hut a platform. So you will be with us here tonight on the show. And of course, we will discuss politics. That will be our major point of discussion this evening, politics. But let's bring you some updates uh, around Liberia and outside Liberia too as well. The Civil Service Agency (CSA) has cautioned faculty members at the Liberian Public University and colleges engaging in plain go slow protest. The CSA Director General Josiah F. Joke urged lecturers to remain calm and continue their academic duties and use formal grievance procedure to address concern. The agency emphasized that any deliberate neglect of responsibilities could lead to disciplinary action under the civil service regulation law. So, all of the lecturers that I trying to engage into any other protest, your boss is telling you that do not do that because it will not be good and you should use the appropriate uh, means in order to do that. But those of you just joining us too, let's try to recognize you guys this evening. David Bowley, David, are you watching us from Monrovia? I guess. Peter G. So Jr. He says he's watching us from Captor Bypass, right opposite Central Depot in Monrovia. Alex Barkley is also watching us from Maryland County. Alex, good evening. Welcome to the show too this evening. Prince Wisse is also watching us this evening. As always, Prince is here. Prince would like to welcome you to the show this evening. But again, let's um, we will be hosting Prince Sharif on the show. Prince will be our guest tonight on the show. Let's try to bring you this update. Let's bring you this update. Uh, So today, Josh, we have spoke at his church regarding the fire incident that took place recently at his Sinco residence. He spoke about it. The former president, we have spoke about the fire incident today. He tell us we will be playing the recording from that speaking today. We'll be playing the recording. And again, those of you celebrating a birthday today, would like to say happy birthday treat to all of you. And those of you too wishing to celebrate your birthday in times to come, would like to say a pre-birthday treat to you guys too as well. And those of you too who have celebrated your birthday already, would like to say a belated birthday treat to you guys. We will go for this break. If you're watching us, please help us to share the show. Mohammed A. Duna is watching us vexingly from Monrovia, Painesville. Mohammed, welcome to the show. We will go for this break shortly, and we'll come back. We will dive into today's edition of the show. Keep tuned and keep listening.
Lesson, yeah, brother, this I heard. Sweet, sweet kiss, I will leave out. Not for go alone, mama. Human being can eat it, oh. The deer can eat it. Cause I will leave out. Sweet is our liver, not for go alone. Human beings can eat it, all of creatures eat it too. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Why not pray for long fellow? They can pray for long life. As long as they're living, the better we grow. You check it from me right today, oh, mirror go check it from you tomorrow, mama. Hey, you take it from Peter today, oh, Paul go take it from you tomorrow. Fine, fine, power is found, oh, it can make you heavy. Looking like a crookie, no, equate to capsize. Kesawalia, Kesawalia, mama, no for go alone. When I pray for long fellow, he always pray for long life. As long as they're living, the better we grow, my people. Sweet, sweet, kiss our liver, no for go alone. After not for one person, oh, it's a matter of time, papa. After is a lesson, yeah, brother, this I heard. I'm on by the way, never where my way gone. Be your woe. I'm about to way up, papa, yeah.
And so thank you for being there. Thank you for rejoining us this evening. You are listening to the HITA program here on BKS TV. On HITA, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. In today's edition of the show, we will be hosting Mr. Prince Sharif. Prince Sharif is the former Secretary General of CDC USA. He will be our guest here tonight on the show, and we are anticipating a really Sorry, I think I'm having some network problem. Today, Newcastle play Arsenal in the Premier League, and Arsenal was fortunate to win 2-1 against Newcastle, and Barcelona to play Real Sociedad today with the score 2-1 in favor of Barcelona. Aston Villa to also play Fulham today with the score 3-1 in favor of Aston Villa. And with that too, in La Liga, uh, Real Betis also play Osuna today, and I think the game is still on. And currently, Real Betis has 2 goals against Osuna. But again, folks, if you're just joining us, we'd like to welcome all of you to the show. The CEO is in the back. Maybe we can go for him, and while we await our guests to join us, let's discuss other issues too as well. Let's try to bring on the CEO.
So, so you, it's funny how you, let me wipe my camera off real fast. There you go. It's funny how you giving an update for all the scores today, and for some reason you didn't get the one for yesterday. Yesterday, I will help you. Chelsea, Chelsea won. Oh no, forgot that. Chelsea got beaten yesterday by what 3-1. It's funny how we lost. We played the same day.
Uh-huh.
So man,
Wow, what's the result of your game?
we lost. No, it was we went down one. No, and our skipper missed that penalty there. So that was the. But the funny part was all the Chelsea men, everybody was ready, just laughing at all, writing all kinds of different things. Come to find out now, Chelsea got out of Syria 3-1, and then everybody want to act like nothing happened. So I think yesterday was a good day for sports. Real Madrid, as you can see, I'm wearing my Real Madrid top. I'm a backup team there. My backup team got the guy that butt whip to the 5.
Real whip that I had to whip your all way yesterday.
Real Madrid. Yeah, but I think the best result yesterday was Chelsea. Chelsea, you got beat more. I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter who we beat or who beat us, as long as Chelsea goes down, it make my day. I thought that was
But that's I don't know whether I should blame Chelsea because the whole record thing I just started with us. When when we play you guys, we had record. Yesterday again, we had another record. So it was a bad game yesterday, and I'm hoping and praying that this will not continue until the season ends. We can be like Man U.
No, I won't we're down already. We're already down, so we don't care. Y'all that claim to be up, and then you can be the small team now. That's a huge problem. But yeah, yesterday I really missed yesterday. I was hoping I would come on here yesterday to talk about the game yesterday when it was hot. But I'm glad to be back today. Our show is back today. We look forward to having a really good conversation here today. And speaking of that, District 5, the ongoing district league. I don't know if you talk about that, but because I'm personally involved with it, I want to talk about it more. I want to say thanks to all the supporters. We have a group of people in the diaspora and some people in Liberia who have been making contribution to our team. And the team is good. We have a really good team. And from the look of things, we actually qualified now. We're coming to Gantown, the Carpet, and we're looking forward to pushing the Booyah boys all the way to victory. We got to take the trophy to Butu, to the compound there to drink our palm wine and stuff in it this year. So, and the team is good. I like the way the coaches are handling the boys. The boys are doing really, really well, and I'm impressed with their performance. So we look forward to coming to Gantown, the Carpet there, and showcasing our talent. But again, thanks to all those who've made contribution in our group there. I can't name them all here, but I'll try to get their names. They've been very helpful, and I think together we'll support our team. Together, we'll do great. So I'll stop there for now and let you spearhead it. Welcome to the show, Crizzle.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you. I mean you battle fight all yesterday.
I tell you,
Um,
I'm telling you.
yeah.
But what's
But
team?
yeah,
You are team. You Chelsea man too?
I just man, oh, I just man, Chelsea and Madrid.
You were
Yeah,
lying and
yeah. I
But
don't know. I don't know what a red card basically coming for now. Behind Chelsea now is a worry.
it's getting bad. Chris and I, we have a
Yeah.
secret, a
Mhm.
political secret that I will keep for now. Um, hopefully, I'll be able to disclose that here to break the news. People
Yeah,
been wondering,
it's the heat hour. That's why we break out the news. We gotta break. We
yeah,
gotta break the news.
people been confused. Like we saw Chris on, every time when Chris appeared here, people ask
Mm,
questions which political party he's affiliating with and why he asks his question in favor of opposition. So there is a really, really great news that I
Okay.
will see here. Maybe Chris will be joining CDC very shortly. Maybe.
But I don't know.
Now breaking,
CDC.
breaking news. So,
Maybe the girl will be
we.
joining CDC shortly. So he has been hiding behind MDR for a while now. And he's trying to come out clearly to tell the people that he's no longer a member of the MDR, but rather a member of the CDC. He's not just going as a member, but also to contest as Secretary General for CDC USA. So I think,
But
those
are
of
they
you
breaking
that,
news there?
yeah,
So,
That's
those
a
of
breaking
you
news.
so
that have
to
been
That's a
wondering, we
to
saw Chris on,
so the men at CDC now. You gotta
yeah, the men
announce
are
that.
sedition. So
Yeah,
now
yes.
we can announce on the show that we have a sedition panelist.
Of
Yeah.
course, we have decided to make it publicly. We will be participating in CDC USA election. For one of the positions as Junior just announced. But now consultation still going on. I know our men from Nima will now let to year A, but we have to do it.
But let me ask you though, is the consultation still going? So you are officially a CDC now, right?
Of course, of course, we have made a decision. CEO, we've been part of the MDR, and we've been silent behind closed door. I think we have to make decision that some of our friends out there will know our stand in the society. We don't have to be hiding ourselves behind now, be taking the right no. And we will be participating in CDC USA election, hopefully early next year, where we will be fighting for all the positions as Junior just announced. So that's it. Our people in Nima is where we are.
Congratulations, congratulations. At least we got someone in CDC in the hierarchy that I'll be able to bring some CDC on board for us when we are looking for guests. So
Yeah,
congrats.
yeah. Thank you, CEO. Thank you. I
Now that
know.
you are a sedition, you should get ready for you and Shadrach to spill it
Oh,
on him. Because it will be a high and pull. A really, really long high and pull.
definitely, definitely. Yeah,
Our
no.
guest will be joining us shortly. Once he joins,
Mm,
we'll bring him on the stage for us to discuss. I think the position he served in before, that's a position Chris want to serve into as
yeah,
well. So we are
yeah.
anticipating a very good show here this evening. The guest that we are bringing, he has been one of the critics of this government, really, really strong critics. So we are anticipating an interactive discussion here this evening on the show. But again, Chris, let's hear you what's on your mind this evening, Chief.
Uh, Thank you, Jim. Just my concern to do with the flooring system in Nimba now, where most of our communities in Nimba, the residents, the water is taking over. I don't know if that drainage system is not observing or what. I think the government has to intervene now to address that. And the next thing I have to do with the rape issue in Liberia is getting rampant. Another assistant minister just did a minister of agriculture. And these are issues that we think that the government needs to address. I hope the police RG will not talk about DNA test again. Yeah, because you cannot have somebody's daughter 14 years old to be raped, and they try to play games out here, and the family are going through, that stress right now. I don't think it's necessary for the police RG to do that. I think it's time now for those people who do to be apprehended, to be placed behind bar where you wait for the final investigation. Because if that don't happen, it will be a precedent that other people will be finding Liberia. Yesterday, the minister today, another assistant minister do it. Who knows? Few days from now, you will hear that, oh, minister proper did it. Who knows? Or speaker did it, or the speaker did it. So it's going to be an issue now. The government needs to stand up for it. And I think that I need to call on the women group in Liberia. This is not just about, that little girl or that children that went to it, but should be an issue about Liberian children, Liberian girls. And I want to call on the women group in Liberia to stand up, because I don't think if it is their own, it could be their daughter. They could, they're going to be silent on it. The women group in Liberia, I don't see them talking. I don't see them protesting. It could be that daughter, or it could be minister's daughter. They're going to sit down and look at it. What's happening? So I think that the women group in Liberia is trying to stand up to this. Enough is enough. Our children, our daughters in Liberia are going through a lot. It is time for entire women group in Liberia, not just an individual, to stand up to this and speak against it. And I will let call on President Bwaka. He's the president of the nation. It is time now to take some just decision. Suspending people is not enough. If those people do this thing, then the BBM, so we can know it's serious. The information we're getting that still on the Senate feed. We had a data minister, and we let them leave the country. Who knows? There's no update from the police. 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. They're not speaking to the issue.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Grace. Our guest is in the back. Let's bring him on. Good evening, Mr. Sheriff. How you doing this evening, Chief? You are muted.
Yeah, well, thank you. I want to say thanks to you, my brothers, for giving me the opportunity to be on this platform. I am good as always, as an individual, but as a patriot, as a nationalist, I am not fine. But as an individual, I am coping, I'm trying to see how best I can keep afloat. And the reason
Great.
why I'm saying I'm not fine is because when our nation is in crisis, those of us that are even away from Liberia, we are not satisfied. Our hearts are back home. But we are here. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show here tonight. Let's start the conversation by getting to know who you are, a bit of your educational background, and then your current position and your past position in the CDC.
All right. For the platform, my name is Prince N. Sharif. I am a father of 5 lovely girls. And I am also a classroom teacher by profession. And before leaving for Liberia, I served as the Chief Commissioner of the Liberia Scout Association, that formerly used to be the Boy Scouts of Liberia. And I also serve as the president for, a youth group called the Progressive Youth for Progress, based in Doe community, that basically was, geared towards empowering young people, identifying issues in the society, and mitigating, problems amongst young people. So we serve as head of that particular organization before our matriculation to the US. We also serve, as security personnel. And before coming, we attended the African Methodist Episcopal University at the level of, senior, before we had the opportunity to, transition to the US. Here in the US, we serve as Assistant Secretary General of the CDC USA. And we have served in several capacity, in several capacity, both nationally and internationally. So yeah, and politically we aligned with the CDC, and that is the institution we are part of, that we hold so dear to our heart. And we believe it's not just a political party, it is a religion, it is a belief, it is a culture, is the breath that we take in. So we are here, and that's just the few things I can say about, myself. And as time goes by, maybe we'll get to know ourselves better. But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Sheriff. Now, you've been one of the critics of this government. Less than a day ago, you took to your page, your platform, saying that President Bwakai Diaspora Conference is a disgrace. Now, let's start a conversation with the Diaspora Conference. Why do you think this Diaspora Conference is a disgrace?
All right. Thank you so very kindly for the question. The last resort of any political institution is not the first approach. The last resort of any political institution is not the first approach. What am I saying? Before you can get a result of economic boom, of development, and etc., you must be able to do the first thing, that is the grassroots thing. Somebody will say, for the sake of the platform, and for I know your platform is very widely listening to, and many people back home are listening to us. My people, before you can talk about a diaspora conference, you must first of all be able to talk about the issue of reconciling Liberians. You must first of all talk about the unity of the country. You must first of all talk about the healing of the people. Now, when you cannot heal the people wounds, when you cannot meet the people needs, when you cannot sit down around the table and ask the people what are the issues and try to see how best you can solve the issues by flying from Liberia, which is almost about 5,000 miles to come in the United States, it's a block by this government. Let's look at what we are saying and let's look at it in depth. I will give you an example. When President Weah became the president of the Republic of Liberia, he did something that no other political individual ever did or political institution. What did he do? After the election, knowing very well that election comes with consequences, there are going to be people who will feel bad. There are going to be people, whether win or loss, people are going to feel bad. So what you do first is to heal the wound. President Weah called all of the political institutions and said, look, let's sit around the table. This election here, all of us are winners in this election. His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah went as far as even going to the home of the former vice president, who was the major contender in the elections, went to the home of Joseph Numa Boyka and said, Mr. Boyka, this particular thing, all of us are winners. There are no losers. Now, why President Weah took that approach? He understands that after election, people will be feeling bad. People will, some kind of way, one way or the other, people will feel bad. Whether they one way or the other, people will feel bad. So what President Weah did was to see how best, first of all, he can heal the wounds. Is to meet the people, to have honest conversation. And look, along the way, we all make mistakes. Along the way, we said things that, wasn't intentional. But again, in the political season, sometimes, the environment and, the condition will be so tense and we say what we say. So my people, let's come together. Now, President Weah meticulously looked at all of these institutions. He went to the students community. He had a meeting with them. He went to the doctors. He went to the nurses. He went to even journalists. What I am saying, the videos are there and you know of it. And I am ready at any time to display these things, maybe at another time, but you know that these things happen. So he met with all of these political actors because these are the people that he will deal with. He won an election. He will not be dealing with people out of outer space. These will be the same Liberians who one way or the other did not win, and they have their own dissatisfaction. So President Weah met with them and said, look, this thing you say, all win, let all come together. Went to Joseph Numa Boyka, the records are there, and said, Mr. Boyka, bring your people so we can work together. To the extent that Mr. Boyka's son was working in the government of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah from the era of maritime. There were different people from different political institutions about the government. For example, look at how you call LPRC. We had somebody that was not a traditionally, a sedition. Look, for example, NAFA and etc. The areas are just so many. Even at the area of how you call the place, the NASCO. Most of these people, they came from other political institutions, or they, it was a continuity. What did President Weah do? He did not use his power to say, look, I will disrespect the rule of law. This new position, I'll remove people there by force. No, he did not do it. He allowed these people to be there to work for their country. But Mr. Bweka took over. What did he do? The first thing Mr. Bweka did was to start running behind people that occupy tenure position. Remember that this tenure position, they were not enshrined by the CDC government. CDC met them there. And at the end of the day, Bweka came. What did he do? He started running behind people with tenure position. Start running behind them, including those who were seditious, were working at MCC. Can you imagine? MCC. Bweka decided that he would run behind these people. They will not be there. They start running behind people and make the political atmosphere so very tense, to the extent that it was almost looking like one group of people against another group of people. Now, Bweka has not mustered the courage to say, look, all of what happened, it was during the political season. Let's sit around the table. We saw how seditious were killed in our country. I'll give you an example. Today, people who, killed seditions were rewarded with job. Look, for example, Freeport. We have our sister there, Queen Johnson, who is on video of murdering a sedition. We have Francis Akila Nimale from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, who is on record of giving command. And because of him, we lost somebody in Lofa, Tamamomo, and so many of our people. Now, did Joseph Nyeuma Bweka, as president of the Republic of Liberia, as an elderly person, one of the oldest presidents that Liberia have ever elected, has he sat down and said, look, you know what? This thing is election. Let's come around the table and talk. Has he ever called for a dialogue, a peace conference? No, you've not called for it. But you come to America and say you come and have a conference? No, let me ask you a question. Remember the sister, they call her Siane Gore Ricks, a Canadian Liberian who decided after a long labor of her work and said, look, there is a need for me to be able to go back to Liberia and go and invest in my country. This woman left Canada where she was well protected. She was getting everything that she wanted because she wanted to project her country to Osawa and other Liberians. That Liberia is safe. We can go back home. We can invest in our economy. What crime did Siane commit? What crime did Siane commit? She left from Canada, went to Liberia. At the end of the day, Siane was murdered right in her own house. What did the government do? What came of it? Nothing at all. Then you are coming to the diaspora, where by the grace of God, we are paying our taxes and we have protection, and telling us that we should go and invest. Is this a fiasco or is this something real? This is a joke on the part of Mr. Bweka. You cannot get the end result of a good thing when you play that good thing. No. So you coming here to the United States. Do you know what has happened? Have you first of all called for a peace conference? I can tell you that in this United States, there are basically two groups of, maybe you will see these political individuals. You have the Unity Party, which we all know has been around for a very long time, and seditions. And in this US here, seditions are the highest in terms of numerical strength in their political affiliation. Seditions are the highest. Have you ever called for a conference, a peace conference, and said, look, let's talk, let's sit down around the table, let's resolve? To the extent that even I, as an individual, I was denied or even attending the conference. I was denied of attending the conference. So is this conference meant to attract investors to Liberia? You talk about the conference. What is the conference intended, or what is it intended for, or what was it intended for? To encourage Liberians to invest in Liberia. But look at the report from the United States government as it relates to human rights abuses in Liberia, as it relates to the rule of law, as it relates, we all read the report. These are reports that we can get in our hands. They're right here. You can tap it and you will see it. These reports are reports that inform investors to invest in a country. Nobody will want to invest in a country where the police are criminals. The police is on record of stealing, how you call attachment. Police are on record. This is not me saying it. This is what is happening. Look at the World Trade Center, our people who are there in Gale Street. Police took over that particular vicinity. According to the government, there were some fraudulent act that was carried on, and they decided to take siege of that place. While police were there, police could now be criminal to steal the people computer there for in the earth, for in the World Trade Center. That people can call it World Trade Center. Police could now with people to steal. So you're telling us in the United States, you're telling other people to go and invest in the country when the security are criminals? No, don't get me wrong. I, as a security personnel, I know that there are people who are well trained in the police and in the security apparatus. But it is unfortunate that the head of the police, unfortunately, have made himself to be a political stooge, a useful idiot to this particular government, for which he has taken on the security hat that he's supposed to be neutral, professional, and have reduced himself to a battle crier for Joseph Numa Boyka. Can we live in a country like that and go back to invest in our country? When even we, the individuals, are not safe in our country, when the courthouse have been seriously compromised, look at what is happening in the court. Let's leave the CDC headquarters, but look at our sister, Jessica Lloyd. I want you to look at Jessica Lloyd. What happened to Jessica Lloyd? You know the story of Jessica Lloyd and how you call, and Luca Riches. This particular American went to Liberia, got in a relationship with a Liberian, and because the girl was pregnant and he wanted to destroy the pregnancy, decided that I will end the girl's life. At the end of the day, that bugger was taken to court. What happened to Lucas Riches? Lucas Riches walked away scot-free from Liberia. We don't know where Lucas Riches is. But Jessica is living in Liberia with the scar. When we listening to clips of lawyers making arrangement, if I let it get $10,000, let's forget about it. Let's compromise it. You want us for people to go in that country to invest when the rule of law is being disrespected and based upon by Joseph Numa Boyka on Broad Street? You expect us to feel secure Liberians to invest in that kind of economy? No, let's leave the other people. Let's talk about we ourselves. You expect us to invest in an economy where when people who are in the diaspora buy land, as soon as they know that you're in America, they will take your money, they give it to somebody, when you go low, they say, oh, but they land here, somebody already buy it. Because they know you here, then you turn it around. You don't get way to even go to court. You can't get somebody who will even carry you to court. These are some of the things. You leave from Liberia, then you come here, you say you come here have conference. When those of us in the diaspora, we have the opportunity to see what is happening even in Bokonjire before the people even in Morovia because of technology. I can tell you what is happening right now in Maryland because of technology. I can tell you what is happening right now in Zwedru because of technology. We know what is happening. Then you can't lecture. You can't lecture us. It's almost like the students say are coming to lecture the teacher. Look, this thing is a joke. Joseph Numa Boyka is just devising means to steal from the Liberian people. And we believe that this is something that we will not keep quiet on. They always devise means to steal from the Liberian people. Do you know how much they spend on this diaspora conference? According to our information that we are getting, they said almost about $1 million was spent on this diaspora conference. $1 million. Can you imagine that? Is this the kind of Liberia that we want? Then you come here, you say you come and have conference. When in your own backyard, you can't even settle there. When you are planning assassination attempts, failed assassination attempt against the life of former president and other individuals, I know we come there. Then you can't sit down here, you can't tell what you're having diaspora conference. Look, Joseph Numa Boyka is a joker. That old man is one of the oldest joker we can find on the planet Earth who is occupying the presidency. So the diaspora conference is just a charade, it's a mirage, it's a charade.
Mm-hmm. Now, my next question will still be on this diaspora conference. You are a citizen of Liberia, a patriotic one, and I know you want to invest in your country. What do you think is holding you back? Because I think the diaspora conference is a mean that they would tell you go back and invest in your country. But why are you so angry that the diaspora conference is a waste?
Thank you. I am angry because the first thing that should be done is not what this government is looking at. Before anybody can invest in Liberia, whether it be a Liberian or other company, you first of all look at the rule of law, because it is the law that protects Liberian, non-Liberian investors and non-investors. You first of all look at the rule of law. When the law in a country is not favorable, it is not something that every individual can run to, then it creates doubt whether you want to invest. Now, don't believe me what I'm saying. Look at the report from the INHCR, the Independent Human Rights Commission on Liberia, a Liberian-owned institution. Look at the human rights report about Liberia. Look at the rule of law in that particular report that came up, to the extent that the report even said to us that the atrocity that is happening now, in fact, is by far worse than what happened during the 2 previous government or the 3 previous government. That is the interim government and that of the Weah-led administration of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. That is not what I am saying. That is what the report is saying. The INHCR report. That's what they are saying. Now, don't believe that report. Maybe you feel that report, that Liberian report. Look at the report from the United States of America as it relates to the rule of law. To the extent that when you read that report, it tells you how our judiciary system is seriously compromised by this particular government. How people are playing politics with it. That's the report from the United States. The people who are sophisticated, who can be able to do their research. The people who yesterday, the same government that in power said anything they say that they're writing. Today, look at what the people are saying about our government. Let's even forget about what these reports are saying. But what are we saying before coming on and listening to my brother talking about the issue of rape, my brother Chris Sally? Amen. Can you imagine in a country you have a deputy minister that is raping 14 years old? Do you know that rape is a weapon of war? Do you know that? Yes. Rape is a weapon of war. Rape can be used in wars. And it is not strange that we see this minister, Honor Joseph Numa-Boyka, they raping our children. It's because Joseph Numa-Boyka himself, who is the architect and one of the financiers of the Lofa Defense Force, these people use drugs, they use rape and use so many things in order for them to be able to get their way through. So it is not strange that these things are happening under Joseph Numa-Boyka, and he giving these people leave. Can you imagine a deputy minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sports rape a 14 years old girl? Get what Joseph Numa-Boyka tell him? He say, "Oh man, let it play. You gotta go on small vacation. Oh man, you gotta go on small vacation." The man submit letter. He tell like they say go on vacation, go on leave. Can you imagine somebody who should be beyond bar? According to the information that we are gathering, Gregory Coleman, who also is a body to this particular, Brian McGill, who raped this 14 years old, the man have absconded. He is no longer in Liberia, according to the information that we have gathered. He is not in Liberia. So where are we heading? That a place you want us to go and invest? That a place you want other people to go and invest? Now, we love our country, but again, in order for us to invest in that country, we must ensure that the ground is favorable. We must ensure that the ground is good. We must ensure that the law is there to protect me and to protect you, void of our own political affiliation. But we cannot be able to free in that country to want to invest when these things are happening. It's not possible. So all of these things that are happening in Liberia, they are all leadway to drive Liberians out to not invest in Liberia.
Great. CDC have served for the past 6 years. They did their part. Now, this is the Unity Party-led government. How will you rate this Unity Party-led government as compared to the CDC-led government for the past 6 years that they served for?
Just a minute, I have to change my location. Just a minute, please. Let me change my location, please.
All right. So, folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to the Heat Hour here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Into this edition of the show, we are hosting Mr. Prince Sheriff. Prince Sheriff is a son of Liberia. He also served as a former Assistant Secretary General for CDC USA. So tonight, our focus is on politics, and we will discuss politics here tonight. But Chris, after the last question from me, we'll come to you so you can ask your 2 questions. Then we'll go to the CEO. Probably we'll take second round of questioning. Then we will call it a day for today. But if you're just joining us again, we'd like to welcome you to the show this evening. Madam Lorena, welcome.
The way Lorena coming was smiling, huh? The smile not easy from the background.
So, Mr. Sheriff, you can
But
unmute yourself now.
before we continue, let me welcome to our show, Mr. Sheriff. I know you got a platform. I want to say thanks for taking up your time to be with us today. As I do with other guests here, I usually ask them to share our show on their platform, on their pages, so we can have more follow-up. So if you have time, if you don't mind, we kindly ask that you share this show on your platform so we can get more followers. I just want to push that in there. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
So now, Mr. Sheriff, my question to you was, your government served for 6 years. Now, Joseph Boakai too is serving for 6 years. President Joseph Boakai is serving for 6 years. How would you rate your government as compared to this Unity Party-led government?
Thank you, my brother. Trying to compare this kleptocratic regime, this undemocratic regime, this barbaric regime, this regime that is using rape as a weapon to subdue Liberians, this particular regime that have on 4 different occasions attempted assassination attempt against His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah, to compare this particular regime with the CDC, oh man, in fact, this regime and CDC cannot be in the same sentence. No, it can't be in the same sentence. It can't be. This regime and the CDC, look, it is clear. I will give you an example, right? Let's look first of all the common ones. Let's look at respect for the rights of journalists. Under the regime of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah, he ensured that he passed the Abdullah Kamara law, the Abdullah A. Kamara law, so as to protect people, that when they speak as journalists, that they will be protected by the law, that nobody, no individual will be able to go after these people. Now, let's look at this government. Is this what the government is doing? No. Yesterday, the information minister, he almost took out a journalist's teeth because according to him, the journalist interviewing and putting on video. You think you for yourself, you know you for government, you know you are a government property. You don't know that? And the program that you were at, you don't know that it was a government function program? At the end of the day, we saw the information minister, Jeremy Pia, hitting on a journalist, collecting journalist gadgets and seizing it. On so many occasions, these people have rendered threat against journalists. I give you an example. Look at our brother Julius J of OKFM. To the extent that even in the Ministry of Information meeting, they were saying that you must move Julius J from on a particular IUCA and OKFM because he not straight man. He get tough for the government, so you're moving from there. Let's look at even the community radio. The last time I was on here in Zwedru, that is in Grangeda County, the community radio station, the superintendent wants to use his power to ensure that the community radio station that is meant for the people report for government and not for the people. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of stupidness is this? I'm sorry for my French. What kind of nonsense is this? You have this government muzzling the press. Then you asking, do I compare the government and CDC in the same sentence? Okay, let's forget about even the journalist. They'll put it one side. Let's look at the rights of people to democratically disagree with government. Under President Weah, there are people who insulted President Weah. They even threatened him. Darius DeLong, another idiot of this particular regime, is there. Darius DeLong is on record of saying they will load for gun, they will fire President Weah. They will go to a hall, they will fire a horse, they will do this. These people use all kind of threatening remarks. Nobody went after them. Nobody used gun to intimidate or threaten them. Today, can you imagine? Folks at the ministry, at NCC, these people disagree with the regime. And guess what happened? The next day, Josiah Joker, the man who they get as CSA, he came and said, we take these people from their job because they thought about Josiah Newman Boyka. Is this not trying to exercise undemocratic leverage on these people to express themselves? And as is enshrined in the Constitution, it is the right of every individual, every Liberian to associate with a political institution and disassociate at their own will and should not be wish on. But today, this is what we are seeing. Look, even the EPS, lead the people to the ministry, to MCC. Look at the EPS. Almost 700 persons, they were laid off only because these people were employed during the Weah regime. So you took these 700 people off job. Oh, you telling me, say, I'm going to compare this regime and the Weah-led regime? Look at this regime. When President Weah became president, he demonstrated democratic rights and democratic tenets to the extent the United States ambassador at the time, Malcolm McCarthy, that was in Liberia, he had a press conference in which he said, and I'm saying it, but he says that the records are out there. He said, oh, what deceivable. The people that we give money to, they sit down on radio, some of them in their basement in America, they talk all kind of bad things about the government here. We now know the people then deceive us. They talk bad things about the government. Oh, we are sorry. Now, if I'm lying, people are listening. If I'm lying, the clips are there. He said it. He regretted and said that these people that we gave money to, they sat down in their basement in America and instigating violence in this country. They instigating violence in the country. He made mention of it. No, not me. Maybe my own water, you don't believe it, that the American ambassador said it. And there were so many several things that happened in Liberia under the Weah-led regime that we saw democratically, the nation was flourishing, respect for the rule of law. Let's even look at the era of education. When President Weah became president of the Republic of Liberia, what did he do? Knowing very well that Liberia has an educational deficit, he decided that, look, we will ensure that Liberians will have a tuition free at public university and colleges. Under President Weah, we did not go almost a year for institution to be closed. As I speak to you, let's leave the University of Liberia. Because when we talk about University of Liberia, somebody say, oh, that only earlier can talk about, look at the Nimba College. The Prince Johnson University in Nimba. They have been closed now for almost 1 year. Almost 1 year. And how much to pay that to open that place, just to pay teachers? It will take you less than $10,000 to open that place. I do serious hustle here in this American one. Hustle for 2 hours, hustle. I can pay, I can get that money there. But the government is not able to open that university. A Prince Johnson who sacrificed his life and gave his everything to this government, today they are planning to sell Prince Johnson University as I speak to you. They're planning to sell it. No, they're planning to sell it. They come in racket. Hey, share the money. Everybody put money in their pocket, the flag, get a play in the air. They're planning to wrap that place now as I speak to you. Look at the University of Liberia. We're feeling what Prince Johnson. Look at the University of Liberia. The place is perpetually closed. And even what is even more frustrating is for somebody who coming here from America. In America, here we respect, all of you know, we respect law. We respect people's right to talk. Now in the country, you can even be beating the person who will still be talking. In the country here, for people to talk is a fundamental right. For you to have an American, Mapaon, who is the president of the University of Liberia, to write a communication and say, yeah, we're not doing no politics here. You must do no politics here. What is this? What is this? You as an American that respect people's right to disagree and to agree with government, you go to Liberia because you're in Liberia, so you think that value they have changed. Then you read letter and say, the student name was so top politics, they must take that board for in politics. Oh, so you go to Liberia now, the American value that in you, where you're supposed to respect people's right to disagree and to agree. You change? You change? Let's look at the tendency of this government. On 4 different occasions, they have attempted assassinating the former president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah. The most recent one is in this room, where they planted a bomb because they wanted to assassinate him. And he said to compare the government here. The criminal regime, this regime that does not respect human rights and human dignity, human value. This kleptocratic regime, this regime with puppets and charlatans that are passing around. To the extent that even those properties that were erected for citizens to benefit from, the people destroying it. As I speak to you now, go to the Invisible Park. When you see that place, we say, but when they play while you're doing a war, a place that people used to come from other countries to come and enjoy themselves there. The place that was the face of, Monrovia. Everybody want to go there, carry your children there, be there, coming. Go see that place. I saw a video of that place. I shed tears. I could not even put it on the page. I just did a small write. I could not put it on the page. The place is almost like that place was built in 1822. When you go there, you would think that it was built in 1822. Can you imagine people chasing how you call it? How you call this thing? The tar from on the wall. They're chasing the tar from on the wall. Can you imagine that? Go to the invisible park, the basketball, how you call a ring they had there. They took all the ring from there. Hey man, if you not let President we are so the thing where you did, and you must so like it, you must spoil it, you must destroy it. But the government, you telling me say I'm a point in center and compare with CDC government. I will not do that one. I can't. The two of them can fail in the same center. They can fail.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sheriff. Those of you just joining us on the show tonight, you're listening to the Heat Hour, and we are in conversation with Mr. Prince and Sheriff. Chris, let's go to you. Your 2 questions. After you go to Madam Lorena.
I think Chris. You know, I think we'll go to Sis Lorena to ask because Chris will be buttressing. You know,
I should see you.
Yeah. But I think
okay, Chris.
Okay.
Chris,
Good
let's
evening.
go to Madam Lorena.
Yes, good evening, Madam Lorena. How are you?
Good evening, and thanks to our guests for accepting our invite to be on the show. And to all our viewers on Facebook, want to say thank you for always following the show. To our listeners in Radio Land, want to say thank you. And I will not be asking a question. I'm just going to be saying things like I'm just going to be saying things out. So when our guest, Mr. Sherry, said that the CDC and the United Party government cannot be put in the same sentence, he was 100% right. Yes, the guest was right. You know, talking about government using rape, and the former deputy minister of youth and sport for
Yeah, she's expressing that. Madam Lorena, yeah, let's put her in the bag and she will rejoin us. Grace, let's give you the opportunity to ask your 2 questions.
Thank you. Brother Shay, thank you for appearing on the show tonight. I appreciate that. You know, I will ask a question. You know, many Liberians believe that the United government use propaganda and misinformation to come to power. Looking at the issue now in Liberia, the governing system, ranging from let's say the government commission where our own dear brother Nima Garrison will be moved, and across the country. Today, if you look at the governing system, if you analyze what the people say in opposition, the propagandas, information they use, saying that the entire government cabinet minister give the Southeast. And today, Lofa alone has the highest appointment, where the country for the Southeast will be around 6 or 7. But they're using against the city government. They say all the appointed position having CDC came from the Southeast. But today, Lofa has the highest appointment in this government, single country. What could be your talk comparing the both propagandas or information used before for the past and present?
Thank you, my brother. Let me tell you something. One of the things that these guys know how to do best is they can lie. The Unity Party, they know how to lie. These people will lie on you and will make you look like a demon. Let me go back in history. These were the same people that orchestrated plans and told us that the former president that was slain, may his ashes rest in peace, His Excellency Samuel Kayando, they told us that the man was barbaric. They told us that he was evil. They said all sort of things about this man, to the extent that they did not rest until Liberians, they brought war and the movement. Today, when we're talking about government that believe in the development of Liberia, the name of His Excellency, the former president, Samuel Kayando, will never be removed from that particular sentence. You will always make mention of him. So what the Unity Party know how to do best, Look, like Joseph Newman Boyka is dancing with the devil. They have 3 agendas: to steal, to kill, and to destroy. They will destroy your character. So they use propaganda, they use lies to tarnish the image of the CDC. And that was one of our greatest weakness in our own government, that we did not empower our people to adequately debunk some of the lies that were being told. CDC is an institution that is filled with intellectuals that can be able to debunk anything that comes from any time. But what President Weah believes is that let our work speak for us. And the Unity Party were able to use those lies to print the CDC government funny, to the extent that they made us to understand 16 billion got missing from the economy and were parking behind President Weah house. They made us to understand that President Weah was passing with bag in your hand with 3 kidney inside. Children, 3 kidney were passing. You were passing around with kidney in bag, passing around. They made us to understand the lie that President Weah, killed 3 auditors, and etc., etc. So the lies that were being told by this particular government was too heavy. And today, what we are seeing is just the seed that they planted. That's what germinated. Look, as an opposition, we have not even started with our mechanism to ensure that this government is unpopular. They are just dealing with their own lies. Because everything that they promised the Liberian people, they are falling short on it. Joseph Newman Boyka is on record of telling us that our children will not sell in the street no more when he becomes president. He told us that our sister will no longer have to do auction business or to sell. Something that has been in existence since Chalekin time. Our people, business is part of our culture. Trade is part of our culture. Joseph Newman Boyka said, we take people on the street. Nobody will not do auction. Nobody will not sell in the market. Today, what are we seeing? Joseph Newman Boyka is brave enough to come here to the UN. Imagine. You see the bravery of this particular old man to lie to people. This man was brave enough to come here in the United States. He stood on that particular platform and told the people that the government is investing 8.3 billion. For God heaven's sake. To the extent that even the lie detector they are in that place could not stand that kind of lie. It got to go or work or it go or he said no. They don't want you, I can't take it. It cut up. It cut up. While you in a place there, people are crying. You are taking our brother off job. Those who used to do their motorcyclist business and other small, you're taking them off job. People are crying, no work in the place. But you lie to the place and say you are taking 260,000 Liberians out of poverty. Amen. That how people can lie. Even if you want lie, you can manage with the lie small. That some kind of way it will be believable. Even if you want lie, that how to lie. So the thing is, this government have no agenda to better the people's life. They've lied to the extent that now that they are in power, the lies is catching up with them. They told us that President Weah was the one manufacturing drugs. Later did we know that Joseph Newman Boyka's son was the key architect of drugs in our country. To the extent, don't believe me, listening to Anthony Suar, the former DEA boss, who went at Mika. He was right on Mika. He went at Mika and he confessed it. He said they issue a job to the executive mansion. Joseph Newman Boyka office, it coming from there. He said it coming from the legislative branch. It coming from the judiciary branch. No, that's not me saying it. I am just re-echoing it. He said it. So, my brother, all that we are seeing, all we can say is that Liberians, let's brace ourselves. Because this government is doing nothing to improve the lives of the ordinary people. Maybe I may not be direct to the question, but I think I've answered the question. I just thought to, So the thing is, they use lies to come to power. And now that they are in power, they cannot even fulfill a single promise. Ask yourself, since this government took over, what has changed? What have they improved? The education sector. In fact, things are even retrogressing. Liberia is in a stage of retrogression. We are retrogressing. We're going way beyond, my people. It's a retrogress. We're going beyond. We're not coming in from. We're going beyond. And listening to the children singing national anthem in Nima, I say, yeah, the children that are called getting the bring. Oh, hill, Liberia, hill, oh, hill. Destroy the land or labor, they shall not be our children. That God getting that war. Joseph Newman Boyka is destroying this land of liberty. This land of liberty. This land that used to be peaceful, that you and myself we used to disagree, but yet and still we can sit around the table, we laugh. But now it is not happening. Josiah Numa Burka is destroying this land of liberty. I say, my brother, who I answer the question.
Okay.
So Chris, before
Hello.
you answer, Chris, I'm sorry, before you come with your next question, you know, so we strive to balance this platform with some fact checking and you know, bringing that up too. So I got a question, a little follow up here for our guests. I know you talked about the human right number that stats that came out from the State Department under this government, but I also wanted to highlight that the same State Department had a report on the George Weah as well in 2023. It highlighted the same thing, where it talked about serious problem with you know, the independence of the justice system. They also talk about serious restriction when it comes to freedom of speech, and we're talking about under the George Weah regime, and also talked about serious government corruption. The same U.S. State Department you referenced, and then finally it talked about gender-based and sexual violence issues. So if we hold everything constant using the same source that you referenced, what say you about that? If we are going to go that route?
Thank you. You know what I can say on this platform and be very equivocally, very clear. Under President Weah, there were so many different institutions, individuals that were used by the opposition to make the government unpopular. Remember, I am not saying that under President Weah all was rosy, but remember that we took over 12 years of leadership from the Unity Party government. That's why you must understand. Over the period, the Unity Party government built a system that was deeply corrupt to the extent Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is on record of telling us corruption became vampire, where it was public enemy. The men want to attack a change from public enemy, it became vampire. From vampire, a change. So corruption take 3 different faces under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf regime. Imagine the first post-war government after the war. So corruption was deeply rooted in the system. These people were there for 12 years. My brother, I will tell you this for sure. I will not sit here to tell you that under the Weah-led regime, that we didn't have the problem of corruption. But the way President Weah fought corruption, it was visible. We saw practical approach to fight corruption because it was deeply rooted in the system. Anybody that will come on this platform for any part of the government, any government official, former government official, can say, oh, President Weah regime, corruption, and then the person lie to you. How will you take over 12 years? The people deeply rooted, they know all the corner, how to steal, how to put money here. You met the people there. And to the extent you maintain them, you did not move them. We didn't have a government that we say we're moving all of these people. They were there. So corruption was in the system, but President Weah was able to fight the corruption to the extent that we contain it. It was not as broad as we are saying it.
Did he persecute any of them? Did he try persecuting any of them?
The first thing is for one to say, yes, President Weah persecuted people. There were people that in the case there were courts, documents that were able to, indict people. Take for an example, let's look at the issue of the water and soil. They went to court. When the issue of corruption came up, they went to court. Let's look at the issue of High Court of Wemo Pay. They went to court. There were people who went to court. There were people under the CDC government that went to court. So for one to say that, people are not persecuted, that means, some of these people, I know you are just asking a critical question, but again, yes, there were people who were persecuted. There were people who were sent to court. There were people who had their days in court. Some of them were exonerated.
Yeah, I'll let Chris continue. Yeah, the same report that we referring to.
With the last issue, with the issue of you said about the issue of human rights and against the press and what have you. Look, that's what I said. Some of these reports, they were banned. One would say generated by some of this opposition. We know that we are in the state.
I beg to differ with that. If you say that, then we could say the same thing with the
What's a hypocritical statement to make?
No, we can't say it because we are seeing it. Yeah, it is visible. For example, under the Weah-led administration, was any journalist placed behind bars? No. Under the Weah-led administration, for example, Did the government of Liberia beat on any journalists or seize their gadgets or deny them from talking? Was community radio station being bamboozled or being threatened by superintendents, like we are seeing in Grand Gida, like we are seeing in Nimba and in other parts of Monrovia, including OKFM even reported that I think was in Tapeta or so, or some other areas where they were reporting that lawmakers or superintendent or people who were appointed by the government, they were going to radio stations and telling editors what to say. No, that means saying it. I'm going to re-echo it. So it's on record. But under the Weah-led regime, did we see these things happening? No, we did not see it. So some of these things we understand. Look, let me tell you something. I will tell you this for sure. I'm in the United States. I'm not nowhere. I'm right here. This country here is the country when you pay money, anything can happen. They have lobbyists here. My brother, the country when you pay money to people, to lobbyists, they can make the case that you are a white man, even though you have a black color skin. But they will make the case that you are a white man. This is America. You pay the people money, the lobbyists, they do what they want to do for you.
But it's all done in legal framework, though. It's all done legally. It's not.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's legal. But what I'm saying, when you pay people money, and that's what the PDC-led government could not do, because the government of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah believed in the people. He didn't want to use money to print the government out there, low good, like the Unity Party did during their 12 years. All of the good reports, when they get on the air, they say, oh, everything is happening fine in this government. At the end of the day, the same people came back and tell us, oh, that's also bad thing the people are doing here. Concession agreement, 68 concession agreement is signed. Everything was not correct. There were only 2 or 3 that didn't want to meet the international standard. All the other were not meet international standard. But these were the people that we heard on BBC, on VOA. Oh, the government is okay, democratic right. But at the end of the day, they were able to expose the government. So we understand this, politics around some of these reports.
Thank you. We'll let Chris continue with his question. I just want to reference that U.S. Department of State case you were giving, and also what I have here. I just want to reference.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that.
Okay, thank you. Chris, you can go ahead with your second question. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. I just want to.
Okay, CEO. Okay. My last question would be, do you see these 6 years, whenever President Weah travels, you hear opposition saying like travel with a lot of people. They criticize it. Today, you see President Boubacar Traoré, you see the numbers. They thanking even other institutions have issue with it. They say that direct dinner woman said there before now on the train in America. Yomi Kanga Lawrence here, Saras Momo here, Thomas Fala here. And those people, I don't know, they keep on the trip. And other countries just say few of those people that can represent them. What could be your tip? Because yesterday they said, well, won yesterday. Now today, it's on their arm, it's a raffle thing today they're doing. So as opposition, as critic, what could be your take on that for President Boubacar to the numbers more than President Boubacar we had before? What do you say on that?
Let's welcome to the show Big Brother Bobby Wanti, Afanso Wungwa, and Mana Lorena. After Chris, will come to you, Mana Lorena, for you to ask your question or make your import. Then we will go to Bobby, and after Bobby, we'll go to Afanso. Afanso, welcome. So while we await our guests, Bobby, what's on your mind this evening, Chief?
Yeah, Joe, thank you. It's good being back. I've been away for a while. How everybody doing, panelists? I miss this show and I miss everything here.
I think our guest is back.
Yeah, our guest is back. I will see my sister Lorena time when it gets finished because I have to run.
Okay, no problem. Now, Chris, let's hear you shortly. You are muted, Chris. You are muted.
Yeah, my question is yesterday this person, government official or opposition, they criticized President Weah trying with delegates, with people. Now President Boubacar now trying around the world, doubling what President Weah was trying before. And now you see America see guys who want to criticize President Weah President President now who want to criticize President William, and the list goes on. They're on the trip today in America. He traveled numerous. As critic of this government, what could be your taste on it? For what President Parker doing now?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. You know, this is the deception that we have long talked about, and we told the Liberian people that these people have come to steal from the Liberian people, they have come to destroy, and they have come to kill the Liberian people. This is what we are seeing. Like you rightly said. Now, I am not against people traveling. I would be an idiot for me to stand on this platform to say that I'm against the government traveling. I'm not against it. What I'm against is government using the resources of the people to go on vacation. That's what I'm against, to go on leave, to go on this kind of extravagant tour. Because what this government is going on, they are on vacation. When you travel, you must come with dividends. There must be dividends that we must see. It's not an issue of traveling, but it's what the Liberian people benefit during the regime of President Weah. We can name these items. They are countless. For example, look at the Emory Hospital, first of its kind in Western Liberia, that today is not only serving Grand Cape Mount, Bomi, and Bapolu, but it's also serving portion of Sierra Leone. The travels of President Weah, that's why it brought to the people of Liberia. Let's look, for example, the Morakian Scholarship. When President Weah traveled, these were some of the benefits that we get. Let's look at the PHP Park. These were some of the dividends that we receive. Let's look at the doctors that went on, for special training. These were some of the dividends that we receive. So for each time President Weah traveled, he came back with dividends. He came back with something. He went to make the case. He went to appeal. And we saw efforts by other people in Liberia. Today we can point to these things. They are visible. Like the Joseph Newman Boyka government. These people, they are on safari. They are going around taking what we call the DSA. They go there for the DSA. They go there for results. All of the places that these people have traveled, what are they bring back? Oh, we met the people. We had discussion. We took picture. That picture we send you for. Yesterday, it was Joseph Newman Boyka who, at the time when President Weah came here for the delegation, he said they came to meet with Uber drivers. But at least the Uber drivers, we know what we received from the United States. They gave us funding for our elections. When President Weah came here to the United States, when Honorable Samuel Tue, they were here, and Honorable Nathaniel Magay, their intervention, their plea, helped us in our own election. That the United States were able to spend millions of dollars for our election. That's what the dividends, as compared to what we are receiving now. This time, Joseph Newman Boyka travel, it's about traveling. It's about the DSA. It's not about going for the results. Let us come with results for the Liberian people. These people travel to China. What did they bring? But we're waiting for that 3 billion that they're talking about. We're still waiting for it. Everywhere that they have traveled, the story has just been where we're in a discussion. We sign MOU. We're in a discussion. We sign MOU. So these travel are useless because you know what? It is taking a lot from our people. Do you know how much we spend on international travels on all of these people that are going without any result? You know how much we spend, especially in this economy where our people are striving, the schools are closed, people cannot take pay. Our country is completely dry. The coffers is dry to the extent that this government is taking money now from places like Ashland Meta and B Mountain in advance. Then you're traveling with this kind of huge number. Look, in terms of economic difficulties, what do you do? Even the common people, let's put it this way, we the common people that ain't even go to Oxford University. When things become tough, we can take economic measure, or we take preventive measure, or we take the recursive measure. If you used to put fire crop in the house, what will you do? When you know this season is not good for farming and you will not grow enough crop, sometimes you reduce the rest. You know, I can go fire crop again. Even though the number stay the same, but we bring the copper rate down to 3 crop because we need to bear, we need to manage it. So what am I saying? In this kind of tough time, when you no longer have money coming from everywhere, what do? You cut down this trip. You cut down the number of people. That's why we have ambassadors in this country. This ambassador can represent us. You have the ambassador at the United Nations. What Joseph Newman Boyka said down there that Brown could not say. What he said that Brown could not say. What will he go to say to China that the ambassador in the Asian Afro region could not say, as the Yanubo could not say? In times like this, when there are difficulties, then you use your hearing. You say, oh, I can travel with the plenty of people here because of DSA. To travel with the kind of people that good money, plenty of money involved. Then you say, oh, let me cut it down. The people that want to travel, let me cut it down. But most of the time, do you know that when President Weah traveled, it was people who were helping him? Even with the plane that he was using to travel here and there, it was friends who he has established relationship with. They want to say, well, man, you know, you are a president now. You can't be in private plane. If you go in, the people will delay you. So you know what happened? Enter my plane. So these were things that we saw. Some of these trips that was made by His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah was being sponsored as compared to what we are seeing. Now the people going on vacation, they're going on lavish trip and bringing nothing back. So that is the difference here, my brother.
Thank you. Now, Madam Lorena, I beg you bear with us. Let Bobby ask his question because he said he's leaving. So, Bobby, let's give you the opportunity to ask your two questions.
Myself need to leave. Bobby met me here. Bobby should have come first.
I beg you, ma'am. I beg you.
I need to leave myself. I will not in the show. Maybe I'll come during the post
that's-
analysis.
Let me let my sister Lorena to go ahead. Lorena, she's a boss.
Okay,
Lorena, go
because
ahead. I will.
Madam
Okay.
Lorena, go ahead.
So like I said earlier,
just step away. Let him come, then you can then continue. Let him come back.
Yeah, let him rejoin us. Folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Lorena, go ahead now.
so like I said earlier, thanks to the guests for accepting our invite. And when he said that you cannot put CDC and the Unity Party in the same sentence, he was actually right. And the reason why he was right is when you have an ambassador to America, a country that talks against rape, sexually exploiting one of his staff, who came on the media and crying and seeking justice, and the U.S. got behind him. And then the president, all he could do is to recall him and make him a foreign minister because allegedly the president himself was involved into sexual exploitation, where you will be sexually exploiting a minister and assistant minister in the same ministry. So because of that, up to today's day, the young lady, Ms. Cummings, has been crying, and the ex-president, the former president, did not do anything. That's the reason why you cannot put CDC and Unity Party in the same sentence. Because you know why? Recently, when former minister or deputy minister of youth and sport allegedly raped a girl, the president took action. In fact, the first place, the minister Ko Bagali, he told the man, you cannot be in the seat and go through your case. You have to take a leave, because that's how far the minister can go. He cannot suspend on that man because the man is also appointed, and the man took compulsory leave of absence. And the next thing is the president suspended that and this suspended him until the case is over. And then you saw many people who support the Unity Party government and this government, or who are even UPS, you saw them making posts condemning the act that McKellar, including me. No citizen had the guts, the nerve to ever condemn Maxwell Kimia when he sexually exploited allegedly a staff in the embassy in the US. But they will want to come and sit on the platform to be shouting, to be using all kinds of words. And for truth, you cannot put CDC and Unity Party in the same government. You know why? When CDC took over, they made technician. Once you didn't support them, once they observed that you are from the Unity Party, they dismissed and they took them from that job. I can name a lot of them. For example, one Mr. Tama who wrote the community health policy that Liberia is using today, and Liberia is the best in the whole of Africa in community health policy. They removed that man because he was a UP. Somebody said they saw him voting, and you are saying Bouaka will win. They removed that man and they brought in a seditious who was an OIC, who didn't even have a bachelor degree. He remained on the job. He just got his bachelor or master in June of last year. And as I speak to you, this sedition is still the community health director at the Ministry of Health. Everybody knows he's a sedition. Everybody knows that they were going around writing people need that when we win 2023, people will not come back in the ministry, but he stayed there to show how tolerant this government is. So because of that, we cannot put the CDC and the United Party in one government. One Precious T. Bole, just for game, there was a game between Nima and River G. Yeah, Grand Crew, and just ought to make a post. They dismiss her from the Ministry of Gender. That's the reason why you cannot put CDC and UP in the same sentence, because the CDC was very intolerant. Talking about freedom of speech, we all know that Spoon was shut down because they say Spoon was coming hard on them. Yes, so they shut down Spoon for months. So because of that, you cannot put CDC and United Party in the same sentence. Today, when the United Party does something wrong, Spoon, the CEO of Spoon, he cancel and speak against it. He lashed at the government. And today, Spoon is still running, and I can assure this platform, I can assure Liberians listening to me that Spoon will continue to remain in any other radio station. And because you are so intolerant, as a government, you shut down Spoon. Because of that, yes, CDC and UP cannot be put in the same sentence. And you know another thing that CDC and UP cannot be put in the same sentence for? You come on here and give GMP Army on the other show. You come on here and give and want to use the state department as your reliance, that the state department say X, Y, and Z about this administration. But in the same token, you say UP, those information was generated. I mean, how can you be so hypocritical? How can you be, how do you want to laugh at people to see? How can you make yourself to look so laughable? The same state department, like you writing your thesis and you use one reference and you got A, and somebody use that same reference for the same topic, and then you say because the person wrote that only French, so the person should get F. I mean, that's a lie that the CDC can lie. And you're talking about the said bomb in former president Weah, whom me, I even wrote, I said, thank God for his life. Because there is no way that people want to stay relevant after you were kicked out of your former headquarters. The president now is returning, the former president is returning, and to dash that, because they say, oh, when the president comes, they put some AR building up, they coming to launch it. So since there is no rock anywhere because he only cares for himself and not you people, so you say, okay, you're playing that thing in the room, and then say they put bomb in his house. How will you lie just to gain relevance? And you know, when you lie to gain relevance, you lost it so quick. And even worse than when you just your normal self. So those are some of the reasons for which we cannot put CDC and United Party in the same government. And let me tell you something about the PYJ University. Do not spill that thing that you don't know about. PYJ University was never a government university. It is a private-owned university by the late senator and his family. And they were getting 100,000 as support from the government. And you know what? Just before the passing of the old man in November of 2024, they have received that money in September. I know it because the current board chair, Dr. Edward Wonkeyo, is my boss. So I know it when the paper came to him for them to discuss, and I know the 3 portions they divided the money in. I'm not going to stay here to say it because my kinsmen need to rest in peace. And as I speak to you now, there are 2 discussions on the table. You understand, for the Nima University, for the PYJ University. So, and the citizens of Nima, including the vice president, do not want that legacy to go away. So you people breaking some people to tell the old man, because you know that have been known that Mr. Johnson and former president, we have got some family relationship.
So they bring some post, they put one by the campus, the school 8 million. And Nima worth more than 8 million. And if our president say no, nobody can buy the campus 8 million, because if they buy it and say they will take out the name of the change the name of the school, it cannot be. If 8 million is a problem, then 8 million will be produced by Nimba across the world to buy the school and say Nima University PYJ campus, so that the legacy remain. So don't sit here and talk things you don't know about. I'm speaking from fact because I work in the office of the executive director on higher education, who is also the board chair of PYJ University. So don't come sit here and talk all the tricks you're using. We know that tricks and it will not work. So let me tell you, so yes, UP and CDC cannot be put in the system because you people are you are the liar. When you people lie and say they were bringing 6,000 Nigerian teachers in our high school, where were they? Did they arrive? Because you are the best liar on earth.
Thank you.
We can see in this government, the personal worker, when a minister or director does something that is related to corruption, once they evidence, he suspend you and say LSCD and GSC should do that work. It's happening. How many places did you send to LSCD and GSC? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
In the same sentence, because you are a part liar from the pit to hear the one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So
thank you so much. Let's not give Mr. Sheriff the opportunity to respond. Then we will bring Bobby in to ask his question. Mr. Sheriff, welcome back.
Thank you. I am really encouraged by, my sister president. And we must say thanks to His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah, the feminine-in-chief, who under his administration strongly encouraged our mothers to participate in the politics of Liberia. So today, if I see my sister, expressing herself, I'm excited. This is one of the legacy of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah, that women must not sit behind. Can you imagine, even during the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who was a female, we did not really see women participation as it is now under the Weah-led regime and that of this kleptocratic regime. So I want to say thanks to His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah, that his, hard work and his democratic tolerance and giving women the opportunity have yielded a result that we have our sister here. But like what she talked about, you see, this is why the Unity Party is still struggling. My sister came and then spoke everything out of emotion, out of the facts. What I expected my sister to be saying here is what the government is doing to build up our democratic records. You read the report. The report is not from me. Hey, you read the report. You read the INHCR report that said the level of atrocity that is happening under this government have quadrupled. It's not me. It's the INHCR report. Let's look at the issue of the education sector that you're talking about. I did not say that the PYJ University was a government-owned university. No, I said it was a private university. But even the private university are challenged to the extent that they cannot open. People are playing politics with the PYJ University. They are playing politics with it. She knows that very well. For you to tell her that CDC is making arrangement to go see a PYJ University, it's laughable. How would CDC be in any deal to go and deal with the PYJ University when the CDC has absolutely nothing? The standard bearer has absolutely nothing to do with that. So this kind of thing, when you're saying that, people who are listening, you say, "My sister, already talking that already." You got to put yourself together. CDC and PYJ University, they're two different things. They can be together in a simple. So the CDC has nothing to do with it. We understand the propaganda that is being played with the level of support that PYJ gave to this government, and the only thing that they could give back to PYJ was to murder him. Today he is gone. To the extent that a Jeremiah Koo, look at what is happening, for example, in Nimba County with the ArcelorMittal. These people signed agreement. The social corporate responsibility of ArcelorMittal, what are they doing? Today it is Nya that is making noise for it. Jeremiah Koo, who is the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, also a son of Nimba County, have decided that for him, he will take the little that he can take from ArcelorMittal and keep quiet. It is Yan that is making all of the noise and talking all around the place there. Why Jeremiah Kun, who is a product of Nimba County, why it is true that he's the vice president of Liberia, he can't even utter a word. Is this how you can be ungrateful to your people? Is this how you can be ungrateful? Today we must thank His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah that he was able to even compare the ArcelorMittal, some of the development that you saw in there. It was under the regime of President Weah. It was under the regime of President Weah that he told them that, look, in as much as you cannot live up to the social corporate responsibility, you cannot be here. But even more besides that, the United Party told that ArcelorMittal, so demon they were there. That company, they will carry, move that company from there. This was some of the campaign that my sister they ran. So she ran here. This was some of the campaign that they ran. That CDC is in there with ArcelorMittal. We come there, we kick the people out. They will not be out. We move them, we move them. What happened today? We go out. Joseph Numa Burger. Joseph Numa Burger said the best company that ever come on the soil of Liberia since 1822. That ArcelorMittal. They make the records are there. He said that the best thing that ever happened. They are doing the best thing. When people in Nimba County are crying, when the sons and daughters of Nimba have been poisoned, every day you know the amount of mercury that these people put in the water, that they put in the soil, that will affect Nimba in years to come. You know this kind of mining that these people are doing, the kind of dangerous substances that they are playing with, all of these mercuries. The EPA that's supposed to tell these people is supposed to protect workers' rights. They're not protecting workers' rights. To the extent that the EPA boss will sit and tell us that noise the people causing Monrovia, that noise made the country too noisy. But when our people are dying of the waters that have been poisoned, our people are living in continue right in that Nimba. People are living in continue with working for ArcelorMittal. What has been done by this government? The government that I can say Nimba play a very pivotal role to bring to power. Look, we can talk all of the politics, but let's give it up to Nimba. Nimba play her role. I was in Nimba. I was assigned in Nimba. I was there throughout the process. I know what went on. There were some things that went on. We saw it, we witnessed it, and we reported on it. But we can give it up to Nimbanians that they did well. Because they were able to do everything to ensure that Joseph Numa Burger is the president. This man became president. What did he do? He has turned his back on the Nimbanians. He has turned his back on the Nimbanians. The people who are speaking for Nimba today are not looked at as enemy of Nimba. Because the vice president, who is Jeremiah Pankun, feel that he can be able to use his political, maybe power to subdue people. Look at today what is happening. Koga, a son of the soil. A son of the soil. Man, Nimba, Pa Nimba. Today, he has been subdued to nothing. The men who they used yesterday to take Fanatic cover from them because they wanted a regime speaker. Today now, our Ben Jeremiah Kun, the vice president, turning against him. Hey, see what we're talking about? Jeremiah Kun now turning against him, against his Koga. We want to use this platform. Is a Koga. You got to be very careful. Because if you're not taking, are you the next in line? When Prince Johnson go, your cousin, you gone. Your nephew or whoever, you gone. Are you the next in line? Jeremiah Kun is on a mission to destroy the sons, the original sons and daughters of Nimba County. That's the mission of Jeremiah Kun. The brother is desperate to the extent that the brother will come to America and say, well, President, we had a former president, when he see my convoy passing, he can stand. They are passed. What? Vice president speaking in such a denigrating manner? Nimbanians, that boy that you see called Jeremiah Kun, you'll be careful with him. They bought desperation for power. He will clear anybody that
you have to address the vice president created. If he cannot address it, but they do not call his name. Don't address it that.
Madam Lorena Akamina, this is a political talk show. In politics, people say things. Once he's not insulting the vice president, you give it up to him.
When he addressing the former president, he said former president Doctor, he addresses him the right way. So in the same way, if he's not addressing him at George Weah, that's a different thing. Once he addressing and giving him that respect.
So John, hold on. I'm coming. Yeah, Lorena says, Siade, you're not doing well. You spoke when the guests didn't say a word. So when he done, you can do clarity. We can't run the show that. You spoke for more than 15 to 20 minutes. He didn't say a word.
You were not
So
here when he
that,
spoke,
that
right?
yeah. So no, Lorena, we have to give him chance. Other than that, we'll tell you to put you in the back.
It's
If we
okay,
don't
guys.
give
It's
the
okay.
guy
Let's go.
chance, we'll have to
No.
put you in the back.
He has to address it for person appropriated. You can't be addressing
So if the guy is speaking and Lorena not giving the guy chance,
Ma-
put her in the back.
Madam
Sincerely.
Lorena,
Yeah, put me
Madam
in the
Lorena,
back,
I
no
beg you.
problem.
Okay, then put her in the back so the guy can speak. When the guy's done, then she can come back with a rebuttal. We can't run the show like that.
TK are coming.
Put me in the back.
Let's give the guest the opportunity, Madam Lorena. Let's give him the opportunity to respond. Now, this is a
Yes,
political
I will
talk
be
show.
respectful to the former vice president, the former president, the former vice
I'm
president.
coming. We can't tell people which word to use. Once it is appropriate, it's okay. But when the person cross the line now and uses inappropriate words, then we call them to record. But now the person is using the appropriate words. We cannot cut the person off. I beg you, let's give him the opportunity to do that for us. Mr. Sheriff, we are sorry for the break in, but you can respond to that in 30 seconds. Then we go to the next panelist to ask.
Yeah, no problem. We understand, Sister Lori. We understand, I don't know when Mr. Jeremiah Pankun called His Excellency President Dr. George Manning, we are common citizens. I don't know what was your position. I don't know what you said. But well, again, that is not the issue. If me calling him Debo or Jeremiah Pankun, if I want we made him to lose the election, then he will lose the election. Thank God I'm not insulting him. Then he will lose the election. Because his behavior is immature. He is not behaving as Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. This is a man who just like Imam Bweka was saying to go China, to go bar, as how you call procurement director. We got procurement people in Liberia, but the time he say, Jeremiah Kun, he said, he said, go to China and go buy yellow machine. He said, okay, you go there to go buy yellow machine. Was this not the same Jeremiah Kun that told you and myself at Prince Johnson burial that for him he was bad boy? Why you get there with him, my sister? The time he said he was bad boy to Joseph Nima, but now me saying it, he said he was bad boy. Why you not get there with him to say, oh yeah, don't say you bad boy. Bad boy, that is the most demeaning thing that you can ever say. After the Liberian people voted for you as vice president, he said you bad boy, but that is not the issue. The issue here is Mr. Jeremiah Pankun is the president of the Liberian Senate and the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Ask, what are the laws that he has oversight over, or that he is pushing for to empower Liberians, to empower Nibanians? Today we are seeing Nibanians are dying of strange diseases, and we need to be careful. Look, the people at Nimba need to be careful, or else within the next 15 to 20 years, there will be strange diseases and all kind of death happening in Nimba, because the level at which these people are using different chemicals to be able to exploit these resources is terrible. Today there are waters that are completely destroyed. You know of that. I need not to say it here. There are water that our people used to use in Nimba before, used to go and take bath and even use this water for cooking. They can't use it no more because mercury is all over the place. The social corporate responsibility that they ArcelorMittal said they were going to labor, what happened to it? They think that your wrong capital say ArcelorMittal will not be there, you will move there. As soon as you can, the first day they will move. What happened to them? They stay there. All the companies that you said you can, they will go, you will move there. Why is it that they are still operating? Honor this particular vice president. If you want me to say, Jeremiah Pankun, look at what happened. He is in the house and our people in Grand Cayman County were killed. What did he say? What did Jeremiah Kun say as vice president of the Republic of Liberia? What did he say? When people, our children are dying on the street on a daily basis, you think we don't know Jeremiah Pankun is a serial drug dealer? You think we know? We know that very well. But at the appropriate time, he will account for it because the records are there. Oh, was it not in a hospital that a doctor who was in his hospital, we wouldn't got to know that his credential was fake? Was it not in a hospital? Was it not in a hospital? There were all kind of strange death going on because the requisite medical professionals, they were not there. Oh, are you getting there with me? That the vice president, you getting there with me? The man is incompetent as compared to the president because he has said it. He said he bad ball. So how do you expect for us to pull a bad ball? What am I do to a bad ball? The man is a bad ball. All you need to be telling us now, my sister, is what are you doing to improve the lives of Liberians? What is your government doing in the education sector? But if you can say that one, you say because I tell the man say, oh, they ball or they sunny, so you will get there, but you get there long time because we hear. I think for the next 10 or 15 minutes now, boy, I will call you. I will not insult him, but he's a boy. Because if you can look at the former president, His Excellency President Dr. George Manewia, and call him common citizen, Jamal is a piggy, if he's a bad boy, he has just said it. So I'm just re-echoing it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bobby, let's give you the opportunity. We will do that when Bobby, let Bobby ask his question because he said he wants to leave. Bobby, ask your 2 questions shortly, Chief.
Yeah, thank you, John. Good seeing you, Mr. Sheriff.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think I will start from the bottom to go up. Mr. Sheriff, the Nimba County people, when we decide to put Jeremiah Kpankun as a senator of Nimba, Jerry spoke for Nimba. He talked for Nimba County. He talked about Asma Mental. Jerry fight for Nimba. But when Liberians get together and put Jeremiah Kpankun and the president of Liberia, Joseph Jumabare, as the president, they are president of the country. The people that are supposed to fight for Nimba, they are fighting, which is Nyato and Senator Koga with all the lawmakers. They are fighting for Nimba. It is not Jerry's position to start fighting for Nimba. Jerry is supposed to fight for the Liberia. Secondly, when you say Koga is next in line because Jeremiah Kpankun killed Senator Johnson, that is not true. You have to do your fact checking. When you're saying something, say it with facts. Those things, it brings problem between people. Jeremiah Kpankun is not a person that we know in Nimba to be the killer. For him to kill Senator Johnson or for Koga to be next in line, that is not true. Thirdly, I don't know if you know the gift that president's supposed to receive when he's the president. Because from your statement, you said President Weah was traveling with private jet because a friend didn't get him gift. I believe if we go into the Constitution, the president's supposed to be receiving certain amount of things that as a gift to the president. It's not supposed to be beyond. Thirdly, you accusing Jeremiah Kpankun as a killer, but you refute that people said President Weah was passing around with people killing in his bed. You say it's not true, it's the propaganda. You said the Unity Party people pay people to run propaganda for them to come to power. But I'm not too sure if the same people are paying you to run propaganda for CDC as well. Because when we're saying something, you have to say it with facts. When you say the Unity Party put bomb in President Weah bedroom, do you have a document? Do you have a fact? I'm speaking from a security perspective or from a security background. So we need to speak with facts. And you said Joseph Boakai said he took 4,000 people from poverty, which is not true. But whether you was present or you were there when President Weah, former finance minister Samuel Toy said, George, we are first year. He took 27 million people out of poverty in Liberia, while Liberia only has 5.6 population. You said Joseph Boakai traveled, they made a lot of promises they never fulfilled. But we remember when President Weah, the first lady, said they were bringing the hair factory to Liberia. We're still waiting to see the hair factory. President Weah said he's bringing 6,000 Nigerian teachers. We're still waiting to see those 6,000 Nigerian teachers. So, my brother, I'm here to say, when we're saying things on those kind of platforms, we have other people and we are here to fast track it and then to debunk it. Jeremiah Kpankun, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, that we know from Nimba as a son of Nimba, he's not a killer. There is no document that ever proved that it was Jeremiah Kpankun that killed Senator Johnson. And Jeremiah Kpankun is not and will not kill Senator Koga. Those people are brothers. We are one family. So, my brother Sherry, I'm happy. I've been following you for a long time, and today you and I are sitting on the same show. It's a privilege. I'm happy seeing you here. But politically, we will stay engaged each other, and then we'll turn around, we become a friends. The government of today used during President Weah's term, there was no radio station closed. I think my sister Lorena said it about Spoon. You said there was no journalist gadget was seized. What happened to Henry Costa radio station? Where is Henry Costa property today? Henry Costa radio station was closed. The property was seized up to today's day. He hasn't got it. Abba Vatopa, he wrote on the Facebook page when Abba Vatopa was with Alexander Kumi in Liberia. Abba Vatopa was caught to the border and he was brought back to Liberia. If it was not because he was a citizen of America, for the embassy to get into it, we will know the story of Abba Vatopa. So, my brother, we are here to fast track and to debunk some story when people bring it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. When the guests come back, he will respond. Then after that, we will give Madam Lorena 30 seconds. Then maybe DK will ask his question. Then we can take leave of him. Now, Mr. Prince, you can respond to Bobby, and the next person will ask their question.
So I'm listening to my brother Bobby, and I want to say thank you so much for, your points. But unfortunately, your points are not accurate. The reason why I'm saying it's not accurate, I'm listening to you talking about first when Jeremiah Kpankun was a senator, that he spoke on behalf of the people. That is inaccurate. That is false. That is misleading. One of the most prominent voice that we have always heard in Nimba has been the voice of Prince Johnson. And now the likes of Jeremiah Kpankun. Jeremiah Kpankun was busy on his business. You are busy in trying to see how best he can enrich himself. Working on his business and see how best he can be able to, ensure that at least a business expands. We saw that. So for you to say that he was speaking on the people's behalf, I think it's not accurate. And that statement is not accurate. People are listening to us. I also heard you talking about he is the vice president of Liberia, so you should speak for Liberians. Okay, let's think about that measure at what you've just said, that he should be speaking for Liberians. The people in Grand Cape Man County that was murdered by this particular regime, did you hear anything from Jeremiah Kpankun? Did he say anything about it? No, Liberians answer. Nobody have to answer me here on this. But did you hear him speaking of anything? The level of police brutality that is happening in the country. Have you heard anything from Jeremiah Kpankun? I know you will say he is the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Yes, I agree. He is the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. But the vice president that would disrespect the law, the PPCC law, to go to China, to go make an arrangement for, for yellow machine. The vice president of the Republic of Liberia that honor his regime, the University of Liberia is closed. The vice president of the Republic of Liberia, when students, innocent students got on the street asking that they want for teachers to return to classes so that they can learn. And they were beaten and brutalized by this police. Something which led to the massive failure of our students in this WAEC. Did you hear anything from the vice president? Did you hear anything when these little girls are raped around here? 14 years old by two different government officials. Did you hear anything from the vice president? Has he issued any statement against the rape, against violence in Liberia, against mob justice? Look, the vice president is as good as nothing in that particular office because he told us that he is a bad boy. Now, talking about the issue of, Koga and that of Jeremiah Kpankun, Koga said it, and that's true, that Jeremiah Kpankun is envious of him. Jeremiah Kpankun want to exterminate him. Jeremiah Kpankun want to take him off. We know the thing is clear. It is there. It's very clear. We are seeing how Jeremiah Kpankun is doing everything to manipulate the system in his interest. To the extent that Jeremiah Kpankun will go as far as planting people to get rid of Koga. That is not me saying it. That Koga saying it. The people around Koga saying it. And we know how desperate Jeremiah Kpankun is. We know the desperation of this particular man. It's not something that we are sugarcoating. What has Jeremiah Kpankun said Even when he was a senator, what did he say concerning the issue of violence in Liberia? Let's leave Nimba out of it. What did he say? Did you hear any statement from him? Have you read any critical piece from Jeremiah Pankun? Has he proffered any law to protect women's rights? Has he proffered any law to protect the rights of children? Has he proffered any law to protect the rights of journalists? Has he proffered any law to protect citizens of Nimba against some of the dangerous chemicals that is being spilled in these rivers that our people use for a very long time to
On
drink
so many
from,
occasions,
to
sir.
drink from?
On so many occasions.
What are the laws? What are the laws has he proffered? No, let's talk about the law. You and I, we can talk because we are not lawmakers, right? We can make law to say, let this law. But Jeremiah Pankun is a lawmaker. Can you show me 2 laws that Jeremiah Pankun has made to protect the people of Nimba when he was a senator? Because you say he used to speak for the people of Nimba, according to you. Can you tell me how he proffered those laws? What are those bills that he put in front of the floor? So let's be real here. I know that Jeremiah Pankun, one way or the other, you will have some soft spot for him. But when we pacify these people who are supposed to speak in our interest, then we are doing it at the detriment of the masses. I know every one of us here have soft spot for people. I do not hate Jeremiah Pankun. No, hate is not in my heart. Why it is true that when he came here, you know, Liberians gathered and we presented our petition to him about the killing and etc. etc. But I do not hate him. I have no hate in my heart. But I will not be able to shield Jeremiah Pankun when our people in Liberia are dying. What has he said concerning the level of death that is happening with these young people from drugs? So let's be serious. You love Jeremiah Pankun. You have a soft spot for him. I appreciate that and I understand that. That is good. Everybody will have the same. But we must not be able to sugarcoat or we must not be able to protect these people. Let us expose them because that's what they were elected for, to serve the Liberian people and not to serve themselves. Jeremiah Pankun is my servant. He is your servant. You employ him, you pay him. So you should tell him what to do, especially when it is right in keeping with the Constitution. We should not sit here and sugarcoat things. We should not sit here and because we have certain love in our heart, so we say, let's call the man, let's pretend the man, you know, yeah, for all Nimba Kwado. When you call Nimba Kwado, we're talking about the respect of people. We're talking about rules and regulations to be respected. He said, Nimba Kwado. Nimba Kwado is not above the Nimbanians. Nimba Kwado is not above Liberian people. So we can have Nimba Kwado, but don't have behind Nimba Kwado. You want to protect somebody. No, that is not Nimba Kwado. It's not what Nimba Kwado stands for. It stands for the protection of Nimbanians and Liberians in general. If Jeremiah Pankun is doing something out of the order, let's call him out. Let's shame him. Let's make sure that he does what is right, what we elected him for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Junior, let me come in there as I always do. I like to
Having the guest is going because I have a comment. So can I make a comment and you close?
DK, wait, let me finish now.
Okay.
I just want to make a quick correction here. You know, our guest made a point here that is worth making correction to. He made a statement about Senator Koga making a claim that the vice president wants to kill him and he's out to hurt him and all that. I want to say that it is not true. There's no evidence of that. Koga was on the show, on the same show when he made some of those comments. He never made mention of the vice president in particular. He has never said it. There's no record of that. So I just want to make sure that is clear. Honorable Koga has never, publicly at least, there's no record of that, of him accusing Vice President Kong of wanting to hurt him. So I just want to make that clear. Junior, you can go ahead with DK.
Thank you. Now, DK, you can make your point. Then Mana Lorena will take us.
John, wait. DK will make his point. But everything I said, Sherry attacked Jeremiah Pankun in everything. But the one that went to his president and his president's wife and his former minister, he never talked about it. That's deception.
Okay, so thank you, Sherry, deception. So you guys hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
okay, so sorry, and thank you for coming, Sherry, and thanks to all our panelists. I'm from the President Barker program because I live far, so I'm leaving from there. So few things I want to correct. Sherry, thank you for coming. We are open to CDC, ANC, NDRO, Union Party, all the other political parties in Liberia. But what we will not allow our guests, any other person to do is to misinform our gullible society. You sound very angry with the vice president. And the very man you are sounding very angry with tonight spent 5 years or more with you. He was an injured. When he was supporting the CDC, when he was whining and dining with the CDC, he was an injured. He went on the other side. You guys have wore the garment of a devil on him to make him know that he's a devil. That argument will not survive in any intellectual gathering. That's one. Two, Sherry, you support the CDC. The CDC President George Weah, when there were unexplained deaths in our country, his response was all citizens should buy CCTV. And so the president of the country said everybody should buy CCTV because there was some unexplained death in our country that even the opposition at the time linked those deaths to him. That the children with the Moses, the auditor, and the rest of those stuff. You got him in his defense. So you can't come here and want to blamen the vice president because the marriage with the vice president at the time ended, and because the vice president divorced the CDC, so you guys are just aggressively angry with him. That will not survive. Another thing is the character Alvin Gaye concerning Senator Koga and the vice president. Senator Koga and the vice president have been buddies. Their disagreement is that Koga has not said anything that the vice president is after his life. The vice president on the other side, since Koga made a comment that in fact when Senator Koga made a comment, the thing he said on the very show was he not satisfied the way the vice president is treating him. In our statement, there was nothing about the senator said the VP was after his life. So those things are cheap. There are other policy issues in the country that you guys need to engage. I said, yeah, I'm a member of the Union Party. I disagree with the vice president and the government I support. But you guys in your CDC regime was a taboo. You could not do that. So you have a liberal party that support dissent, and so people who give you the opportunity to support dissent, you are mad with them. But our vestation, you never did our vestation with George Weah. That hypocrisy, Sherry. That hypocrisy, Sherry. The vice president is supporting a government, a member of the government that don't wear beret. That they don't see nothing on Braka or Kun that say the vice president of Liberia say 1827. Send the slave king to Liberia and establish the free land of liberty. Sherry, you are a very good guy. If you are the propaganda person for CDC, you guys need to change the strategy. Because this is cheap. You are very intellectual. If you change the strategy, you will get vote for even Kun House. But you guys keep sounding like this. It's like the pepper kumpo in your eye is still hurting you. So you just need to go in the sea and lay down there for 24 hours. That's what the pepper clean. If a CDC sound like this towards the vice president, every effort you guys are making is dead on arrival. Change your strategy, be persuasive, do more engagement. Look at your losses. You can't put your losing of the elections on Kun. No. What they Kun do, Kun was not finance minister, Kun was not president, Kun was not. In fact, the disagreement that making you guys for CDC really angry is Vice President Kun and the current president have very good relationship. Then why you guys are in the CDC? In the CDC,
when you guys were going after Joe Howard Taylor for Tatana title, tearing the party, those were things that led to your defeat. Your own house was divided. Who did not do anything to the CDC that brought a division? The only thing was when you guys divided your house, it could not stay. If you think you can get vote, in vote which Nima change the strategy. Anything outside of that, you guys will be defeated face down in the next election. I support the government, I support Kun. I disagree with policy with them and advance it on the very show. But the way you guys in the CDC doing it, but that your vote, you will just get in nickel time. If you guys continue with that strategy. Again, this is your show, man, buddy. Welcome here anytime. Come here and defend your party.
Our vice president is a bad boy, but their vice president.
Thank you, yeah. See, that's another woman she can get first. But we can deal with you here. You will not even thought you will be quiet to go in.
Thank you. Thank you.
You will be quiet to go in. So thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Let's give Mr. Sheriff the opportunity to respond. Then we will ask him now for his parting comment.
Yeah, so I'm listening to my brother, and I want to say thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Sheriff. Jim, before the guest leaves, please give me 30 seconds of his time.
I want to say thanks to my brother. Today, the reason why we are here, again, I would like to say we must give thanks to His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah. That under his regime, we saw the proliferation of so many different media institutions and people coming up, and speaking on government issues and etc. Again, we want to say kudos to His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah. So that one is something that we cannot argue. Seeing the proliferation of different media institutions, which is an evidence of the government tolerance of people, using the media to be able to critique government and etc. As I'm listening to you, you can't advise us what to do. I listen to you, you got to change your style, you got to do this, you got to do that. But one thing that is very noticeable on this platform, especially from our brothers, and our sisters who support, Jeremiah Kpankun. It is unfortunate they are not supporting the government, but they're supporting Jeremiah Kpankun. So, Liberians, you can see what is happening. When we tell you that the desperation of Jeremiah Kpankun is to take over, you see it around the platform. Because we tell them, we're lying. These people are not talking and they are not explaining to us what this government is doing in the area of education, what they are doing in the area of healthcare, what they are doing in the area of human resource development. But they can't, and they're talking about Jeremiah Kpankun, no way protect Jeremiah Kpankun. You see how terrible this government is? So you can see that this government is fragmented. You can see that this government is disjointed. You can see that this government has lost focus. Other people there, they say, yeah, that Jeremiah Kpankun, they are one man. Going there, Jeremiah Kpankun. Anybody thought Jeremiah? I did this. Let me just tell you this. It was a political strategy to see where these guys' loyalty lies. And you have now seen, it is now clear that the loyalty is not really with the government. Because if it were with the government, people are going to tell us what this government is doing in diverse areas. What they are doing in the area of education, job creation, etc., etc. But when you call Jeremiah Kpankun, you say, we subdue you. You will not talk with you that you can subdue me. Soldier, man like me, or rebel, a fort. You can subdue me intellectually, gorilla. I can look at bullet and catch it with teeth. Intellectual bullet. They say they subdue me. So now we have seen, you can now see that indeed the government is seriously fragmented.
We know position for being a rebel anyway.
And with this kind of thing, that is going on, no way that this government can succeed. You just see here, just now you just see here. I just gave them the opportunity for me to see, because the intention was to show you, fellow Liberians, that the Unity Party is broken. These people are not here for Unity Party. No, they're here for Jeremiah Kpankun. If I call Jeremiah Kpankun 100 times, they will respond 100 times. And after the Joseph Jimabweka, they're talking about Joseph Jimabweka. I tell you, Papa did, the Papa done. None of them time for the Papa care.
You be coming here all the time, man. Why you here all the time?
Joseph Jimabweka life is seriously a race. Joseph Jimabweka life is a race. But what I'm saying, With what I'm saying, just like you might put up your life arrest. So I can tell you, hey, you the show ya the minute that the Bible people they can do anything to you anytime. Yeah. I feel my would respond. Yeah, I feel I finish. I will do my that person.
Yeah,
Thank you.
30 seconds.
Mhm.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so there is nothing that Jeremiah Percy and Ambassador President Waka Pressing. The fact here is when it was my turn to ask questions, I said I was not going to ask you a question. I'm going to just respond to everything that you said. And I kept saying the government. I said you cannot put the European government in and CDC in the Cincinnati, just as you said. So I was not talking about Jeremiah Kun. I was talking about the government as a whole. Everything I said was the government, because Jeremiah Kun does not suspend. It was the president who suspended the former Minister of Youth and Sport, the former Deputy Minister of Youth and Sport. So I was saying the government. Where you're getting it wrong and where you're getting the largest is you came now at your because Jeremiah Kun like a nightmare to seditions. The fact that he was with the MDR were with CDC and they broke out the divorce. So you people see that he's the reason why he did not get re-elected. So you came now to start lying on him, and that's the reason why now we tailor the discussion to Vice President Kun. But when you are talking the government, I respond and say the government as well. But you cannot come and tailor a discussion and attacking him very aggressively, very angry, and then you expect to say now and be laughing with you. What is the frustrating you is that no, excuse me, Gian, please. What is frustrating is that
we gave your time today now. You asked for 30 seconds.
For 4 years. And now this president and the vice president are friends, are sons, are working together, so you are frustrated. And let me tell you something, talking about Arsenal method, you need to know the function of the vice president and the function of legislator.
Marina, you said 30 seconds, Mama, let's go to the next party.
You will talk about that. No.
Thank you, Madam Lorena. We will stay. No. Madam Lorena, I beg you. I beg you.
We
can't relive the show, though.
Yeah, I beg you. I beg you. The guest has been here for a long time, and we need to let him go. We will stay for post analysis.
Yeah.
Madam Lorena, I beg you. I beg you. We can't take you again, Madam Lorena. I beg you.
You need to be careful. Everything you said, is
Madam Lorena, thank you, Madam Lorena. Let's hold you there. Sharif.
Gino, let me come in there. Let me say something. But who? So Lorena, let's stay now. So my brother Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was a great show, great intellectual exchanges. We disagree on some topics, which is normal. That's how it's supposed to be. We appreciate you so much for taking up your time. I can see you trying to babysit there at the same time,
Yeah.
Be part of the show.
Yes,
That is a lot. So thank you so much. This show, I know you mentioned I laugh in the back there because I think it's a good thing. We get lashes from the Kun people accusing of us being, CDC people, and then the CDC people kind of say we're Kun people. I think that's good. If we leave in the middle there, we strive to stay in the middle. But I like that. So thank you so much. This is your home, right? You got our information, you got our number. Don't be a stranger. Come on anytime. You don't have to be a guest per se. If you have anything you want to discuss, this is all of us platforms for everybody. It's not a one-party platform. So it's a platform for everyone. So we really appreciate that. Please come back if you have any questions. We look forward to having more conversation like this with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharif. It's been a really good conversation with you. In 2 minutes, give us your parting comment, Chief.
Again, I want to say to the Liberian people, let me say to the panelists here, I want to appreciate all of you for giving me the opportunity. I think, again, we must say thanks to His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah, who introduced the politics where, we can disagree, but yet and still we look at each other with that high level of regard as compared to the Unity Party government, which is very intolerant. We are seeing it right now to the extent that now the Unity Party is there. When you associate with sedition, they won't crucify you. But for us seditions, we are open. So I want to say thanks to His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah for introducing this kind of politics. And before I take my leave, I want to say here, that it is unfortunate. The credential and the path that His Excellency put Liberia on, that we are losing this path under this particular kleptocratic regime. Today we are seeing Mr. Boyka doing everything wrong. The people in Kinjor was massacred. What did the government say? Nothing. Let's look at what is happening at the level of the house. When the house was gutted by fire, Gregory Cuomo, who is the police director, sent people to go burn that place. At the end of the day, they are now looking for other people. Today, we are seeing torture being reintroduced in the Liberian society. Under Joseph Numa Boyka and Jeremiah Kpankun, torture has been reintroduced. Don't believe me, believe the doctor's report. The doctors reported that indeed these people were tortured. We are seeing Mr. Boyka and Jeremiah Kpankun disrespecting the rule of law. I mean, any position that was not established by the CDC, it was established by the Unity Party. We took over from them when they were there for 12 years. Today, we are seeing gross disrespect for the rule of law. We are seeing Jeremiah Kpankun and Joseph Numa Boyka, they're doing their own thing. They're leading the country. I have to say, the country that they are in a garage that they can just park car and take car from there anytime. But what we can say to them, 2029 is an uncompromising moment for Liberians. And Liberians are resolved. This government is finished. They just a Scarlington just sitting down somewhere and they just take some kind of clue and put it away. The government finished. Because what have you done to address the issue of job? What have you done to address the issue of security in Liberia? Liberia is one of the most insecure countries right now as we speak in the West African basin. Drugs has now taken over to the extent that Liberia has now become a hub for drugs under the watchful eyes of Jeremiah Kpankun and Joseph Numa Boyka. That the president's son is engaged in the selling of drugs. Jeremiah Kpankun is operating a hospital with unqualified doctors. Are these not worrisome? Are these not concerning? I think where we have reached as Liberians, we must continue to talk. We know that there will be people who will be angry, but again, we are not here to look at your anger. We are here to look at the interest of the Liberian people. And as always, we'll always make it our duty once we have the time to always come on. I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity. But again, let's look at the bigger picture, which is Liberia. And let's look at the individual, Joseph Numa Boyka or Jeremiah Kpankun. Everything we came here and we said is unfortunate that we were able to adequately tell the Liberian people what the president we are doing. But unfortunately, nobody is able to tell what Joseph Numa Boyka and Jeremiah Kpankun is doing. Is doing nothing. The Yaka will call Jeremiah Kpankun, the people say they want to crucify somebody. They want to take cross. They want to do this. They want to do that. Jeremiah Kpankun must understand that His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah remains the president of the Republic of Liberia until 2029. He is just in waiting. He just sitting waiting. You saw it when President Weah came. When he came, look at the amount of people to the extent that people lined up on the street to welcome His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah. Joseph Numa Boyka will be coming to Liberia. Do you know that they have allocated $1.2 million for his coming so they can give it to people to go stand? Because he want to show that, yeah, he is say he's popular. But anyway, we'll continue to be here. And whenever given the opportunity, we'll add our voice to the many critical voices. Thank you so much, my brother Jim. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Bob. You know, our sister Lorena. And, you know, everybody. I think it's interesting that we are having this conversation. And again, we want to say thanks to His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah for creating this kind of space where people can intellectually, you know, disagree and agree on political issues. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So as always, when the guests leave, you know what we do. We stay for our post-analysis. But the guest did his thing, you know. He spoke on critical issues. I don't know whether you will agree with him on everything or not, but I think I agree with him on some of those things. The reason why the CDC-led government was removed yesterday was because people felt they couldn't get justice. People felt, you know, the living condition was tough. People felt that things were hard. But if these things are happening under this regime, whether you are sedition, whether you are a UP partisan, yeah, I'm laying the basis. Whether you are ANC person, I think we all should call the government out to these things. One of the things that Sherry mentioned here tonight was the issue of rape, and I know Madam Lorena stand against that greatly. very greatly. The police have a platform they can update the country on a daily basis. But these rape cases are happening frequently and there are no update on them. We've gone weeks, we've gone time. So I think it's not good for us to compare them with the CDC-led government because Liberians, we were tired of the CDC-led government. We're tired of these things happening repeatedly. That's why we removed them. But it doesn't mean that when we bring another government in, we should be comparing them. We should be comparing the bad things that were done yesterday with the bad things that are happening today. That is bad. That is sad. But again, having said that, we will go for the post analysis.
Let me do my own.
You know, I will go first.
No,
I will
no,
go first.
Alternate person, let me do it, please. I hold your phone. I alternate person because we only talking and go up.
I have two things I want to say. Two things. The check mark that I came up with. No, I think he made a lot of claims there, but again, as a platform, it is incumbent upon us to make sure that we erect some check mark there. He said something about Honorable Koga saying that the VP is out to kill him and to hurt him and harm him. That's not true. That's not accurate in any way, shape, or form. Koga has never said that. Even on this platform, he broke that news. He never said that. So I think that's something is very, very serious. We should not be, saying that even if we disagree in our body of politics. He also talked about the U.S. Department of, when it comes to the whole ranking or rating of the government. He intentionally left the one that it did on CDC-led government and only focus on what came on the United Party government. I thought that was a little bit tough, and I had to bring that in there too. But overall, I think it was a great show. Like my son said, he made a lot of great points. A lot of points. I don't agree with everything he said, but I agree with some things that he also said too. So yeah, I will stop there. I'll let you guys do the post analysis. Since them as on 2%. I know what you get me doing the show, man. You get me doing the show.
No, I forgot. I didn't get a car charger. All I did, I said, now relax. My phone now tell red. Yeah, I'm only 38 minutes away from home. So thank you, Alvin. When the show started, my heart was burning. I was in the hall where the president is in Greenbelt there. And a whole lot of friends from Liberia. So yeah, so Sherry is a sedition. We don't expect anything for Sherry to praise the vice president. No. Look, the CDC and the George Weah group, their plan was VP Kun was to be their campaign manager. So when VP Kun became vice president on the other side and eventually won the elections, they're not taking it lightly. So they will sign the way they signed it. Sherry was the one who even organized the 2-man demonstration in Philly at the time when the vice president was here. I think it was in March. So Sherry will be Sherry. Like we always say about other guests. But he's a good guy. The next thing is Sherry said about someone with fake medical degree. The person with a fake medical degree have even worked in the Southeast that George Weah came from before coming to E&J. That guy was in Cape Palmas. He was in Maryland working there before coming to E&J. So that's contradiction. The next thing is, I think he said somebody selling drugs. You're talking about somebody selling drugs, the 2023 election, people, George Weah close Allah were the one who people caught with drugs. Like the $1 million drugs and everything. Then the next thing he said was, we sit on the platform and we are for Kun. Oh yes. Every time people come here, they will say, I know we have another guest. The last time that they said, oh, we are opposition. We open opposition platform. So somebody come here again and say we are Kun people. So we just need to bring CNC people and ANC people here to say their own. That's far for all. We just need to balance. But sometimes when the guest says something that is not right, that's where I will point down and clarify to them clearly so people are listening to us. We know that, oh yeah, we're not sounding angry at the way they sounding. But the Sherry and the rest of those CDC guys, they always sound the way they sounded towards the vice president because in our Liberia way, the VP pepper them. He put pepper in their eye so that pepper say anything. So that the people are heading in their eye, they say nothing. I can't let us disagree with the government, even including the vice president on policy issue. Not a petty thing they are saying. So that's why I wanted to say I really wanted to join the show early, but I was in our hall where President Baka is having a town hall meeting. I could not join from there in our north. Anyway, thank you. The break yesterday was necessary though. So the break yesterday was necessary and we resume today with fire. So thank you. Welcome back, Bobby. Thank you for coming. And thank you to the lioness, the only female that making medicine with all the other females to not join. Thank you for always being here.
Lorena medicine, we are working you because no female can come when they see Lorena on the show. So yeah, John, thank you. I was constrained to join this show because I've been away and I'm in the top place. I can't actually come up every time, every second, every day. But it was good. It was good seeing Sherry here. And you know, for me personally, this platform is not pro-government platform. It's not pro-opposition platform. We all come here with our own sort of mind. We all come here to analyze things. Nobody support government or support opposition. But despite that, we all are Liberians. I think one thing that you people that are getting Sherry number supposed to tell Sherry, you have to get the meaning of Nima Kwado to Sherry. Sherry don't know the meaning of Nima Kwado. Secondly, Sherry, what John was saying, we should not, talk about government or when somebody say this or somebody attack somebody. It was Sherry, the one that was comparing the government. Nobody on the platform start comparing government. Sherry said, let's put government, the CDC and the unity government into contest. So he brought the comparison. So that had Lorena came out to say they can't compare the two because it's quite different. And Sherry was here. He was very happy to address every necessary things that go to the vice president and the unity party. But whatever that go to the CDC and the former president of Georgia, we are negative, he will not address it. So, like I said, we are here and we will still be here. If you come here, you should put your gadget on. Sherry said he threw something out. He put a political strategy for people, for him to know who for the vice president of the Republic of Liberia to know. But if you want to throw things out to know who is the supporter of the vice president, do not throw a blanket lie that will contradict you, that will put you into trouble tomorrow. Because if you come out to accuse the sitting vice president of killing the senator of the country or the county, and then trying to kill the sitting senator of the county, then that's a lie. We will be here to defend our son as a vice president of the country and a former senator of the county, a 3-time winning lawmaker of the county, and you want us to sit here and agree with you on you attacking him negatively with lies. We will not do it. We will be here to defend our son, and we'll be here to defend our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our followers, please do us a little favor. Go to like our page, go to follow, and please help us to share the page with somebody for them to follow. Mana Lorena, take us home.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I have a little get together today, so I wouldn't have joined the show, but somebody reached out to me and said, "Oh, there's the guy on the show. Is the guest is a seditious, and he's saying that." So I said, "Okay, let me just spy and see." So I intended not to come on the show today because I got guests. If I got the people downstairs, I have to come upstairs and they are there. But I can quite agree with my conviction that the guest is not informed. A medical doctor or a nurse or any health practitioner that requires getting a license to operate or to work in Liberia, you don't get your license from your employer. You get your license if you're a nurse or if you're a midwife, you get a license from the Labrador Board of Nursing and Midwifery. If you're a PA, you get your license from the PA associate, the PA, the Board of Physician Assistant. And if you're a doctor, you get your license from AMGC. So the guest when he said Jeremiah could employ, took unqualified person in your hospital and were killed him. And a lot of kids were growing in Bayan, all kind of kids were growing EMJ. It tells me that he's not informed. He's not knowledgeable. He's not knowledgeable about things, but he only have skill in shouting. So Dr. George in question was licensed by the Medical Dental Council of Liberia. He even worked in the Southeast. He worked at ENJ, and he was transferred by the government to Bapodu County. That's where he was when the whole issue started. So it has nothing to do with Vice President Kun. And another thing he talked about is that the vice president is not saying anything about the AML issue that is happening. Senator Twanye, where he want to present it as though what they're doing, Nimbaya getting said this and that. But it was the same sedition, the CDC level government who took 150 million from AML to run a campaign, assuring them that they will make sure they will sign the new agreement. And they wanted to sign it in 2023. They wanted to approve it. And it were people like Senator Kun, then Senator Kun, and all the lawmakers, I said, no, this is election year. We should have to wait for the next, for 2024. Whoever is in power, then we can properly do it. This is election year because they have taken because they took 150 million from the people from AML and to run a campaign, so they wanted to get past it. And now AML today is the one who is at the losing side because until AML can do those things they have to do, the extension will not go on. And he talking about Nimbaya, if you continue in Yekepa, if you go to Yekepa now, why it is not 100%? Why I stand with the caucus and I stand with every Nimbaya and every woman in Liberia who is demanding AML to do what they're supposed to do that they have not done, at least as the advocacy, as our caucus are speaking, AML is renovating those homes. Something that they could not do, we're doing the CDC level government because the only thing they will do when they go take money from the people in the state and they don't care because they were not the ones directly affected. And he said something that I really want to address. He said Senator Koga should be careful because Koga said Kun wants to kill him. And I want to say Senator Koga needs to be very careful, like the brother said. You need to be careful because doing it just few months ago, back to April, the whole of CDC, from the president down to the vice president, they all and went to NIMBA and to endorse our big sister Manaide Gonglo way, and they were kicking against it. Samuel Gongwe Koga, senator of Nima County. So now is the person that they prefer the right thing. You two can be vice president. You are the real son of Nima, and you are the this, you are the that. And Senator Koga knows that when it comes to who seems to be more favored and loved by Nibayan is the vice president because he is a nephew. He is a nephew born of our sister. And live all his life in Nima, and in the Nima tradition, we love our nephew better than we love our sons and daughters. Senator Koga knows that. And he has to be careful with the people who are coming on the platform like this and making all these statements and quoting him that he said this, he said that. I want to tell the CEO, thank you for putting that last in his place. Another thing he said I want to close on is that when we talk about the government, about the president, we didn't say anything but when it's the vice president. It's lie. It is a lie because when you talk about the government, I came and said the government, the president, was referring to Ambassador Bouaka, the president. But when you narrow down his talk to the vice president wanting to make it to look like this nightmare or whatever, I have to also come in that same way to tell him that he's lying. So, my dear brother and Sheriff, we want to say thank you for coming on the show. The next time you appear here, you should get all your facts right. You should be ready to say, CDC did not do this And we hope we can do it better if we ever get the opportunity. Until you can say that you have no moral credential to come on here to condemn anybody. George, where brother-in-law was the one dealing, the drug dealer in this country in a regime. Nothing ever came out of it. Now you want to come and lie on the viper who does not even smoke Marlboro cigarette. You're talking about a former president who smokes weed. And then you're talking about a vice president who does not even smoke Marlboro cigarette. You say he does drugs. You lie. It is a lie. And I want to say, the next time you come here, your fast should be checked, your teeth should be crossed, your eyes dotted. Other than that, you're going to get it hard here as you're getting it tonight. Thank you. It was a good show. And I thank you for the person who told me to come here tonight, because I didn't want to come because I got guests from tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you to all of our followers. Thank you for listening. We'll be here again tomorrow so that we can continue with the show. Thank you for listening, and thank you for always being there. Have a blessed good night.